The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Super Bowl week has officially started Monday, February 7th, 2022. Let's have a Super Bowl week, shall we? Yeah! That beat drop shout to you for watching here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We head out to the city of stars. The Angels, the Super Bowl home this afternoon, this evening. We'll be back there. We'll be there tomorrow all the way through Saturday. We have a little bit of an update, though, for those that were potentially thinking about joining us out there at Radio Row, the convention center in Los Angeles for the next few days as we lead up to Super Bowl, in which we'll see the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams have it out to see who's the king of the mountain.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I was saying here for the last couple of weeks, hey, there is an audience section. Mm-hmm. Come see us.
Yeah.
Come see us.
Enjoy it.
There's not. Shit. Just found this out last night. There is no fans allowed Monday through Wednesday of Super Bowl week. Then Thursday, Friday of Super Bowl week for the, Radio Row, which is supposed to be radio, I believe. Fans are only allowed in the building from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time. We are done 1 p.m. local time. So when you start doing the math, you go, oh, so there's literally no time that any fans are even allowed whenever we're live. That would be a conversation ender for most people, but not around here. We said we have to put on a show with at least some fans in the stands. Yeah. We have to put on a show with at least some people. So Thursday, 4 p.m. local in LA, 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be having an after-hours special live from the FanDuel stage, the same place we'll be doing the show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning local in LA. We'll be having an after-hours special on Thursday that is guaranteed to surprise. Yeah. It'll be a big show. We'll be giving things away, and we'll be live, hopefully in front of some people there at the convention center. We can't wait to get out there and talk about all things happening around the NFL, including the Pro Bowl that was yesterday. What a waste of time.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you, Pro Bowl.
Hey, shout out to the players making the Pro Bowl. We're very proud of you. You put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. To be recognized by your peers, fans, coaches, media, whoever else all votes for that thing is obviously a big deal. We need to stop wasting everybody's time with that goddamn game, though. Mm-hmm. And I understand that expectations were low for those games because these guys now know the importance of health. They know how much money is on the line. And also, most of them are already into their offseason having a good old time. Why are we going to waste any energy in this game in which we can maybe win $50,000? A lot of money. Let's not make it. But is it worth the $10, $15 million contract that's maybe on deck or what they're going to get paid next year to play actual football? So you can't blame the guys for not trying at all and giving little to no effort. Except for Micah Parsons. Hey, he was going hard.
Hell yeah.
Even on the kneel down play. All right, I'm assuming there's going to be some guys that be like, Ryan Kelly didn't seem to be exactly thrilled, the center of the AFC team who was snapping it to Mac Jones, who, while Mac Jones was like getting excited in the huddle for winning the Pro Bowl, AFC won, I picked that 1-0 on the weekend. The fact that Ryan Kelly like pointed at him and I guess he was like, hey, Mike is going to be a fucking asshole on this, and he was. Mm-hmm. That'll get handled. But moving forward, we just need to be skills challenges and good times. I'm happy we're past the Pro Bowl, we're into the Super Bowl, but that's embarrassing. That game is embarrassing. The guys they know it's embarrassing, but there's nothing they can do about it. The AFC gets a big win. No punting, really.
No, it's messed up.
Vrabel took a lot of pride in that, too. I told him on Wednesday we ain't fucking punting or whatever. Way to go, Vrabes. All right? And I told Vrabes, and I don't know if he got the message or not, I said, you might get some hate mail, some hate tweets, some hate texts, because people wanted to see the punting. They wanted to see the kicking. And when A.J. Cole, the AFC's Pro Bowl punter, did an interview, that was actually the most electrifying part of the entire game. Imagine if he was allowed to go on the goddamn field.
Woo. Come on.
Nonetheless, it was quite a weekend of Olympic athletics, of Pro Bowls. Mm-hmm. Some heavy cancellations.
Yeah, big time.
That was one of the most uncomfortable videos I've ever seen in my entire life. And as somebody that didn't listen to JRE, but understood that it was a thing and had respect for the business that was built by him. I mean, the amount of money that Joe was able to make and the influence he was able to have in the interviews, I think I always respected from an internet base. I did not know he was throwing around that, which seemed to be very recent, by the way. That video was alarming to watch, uncomfortable to watch. This is now going to turn into an entire conversation about should he be canceled from Spotify? Then people are going to cancel Spotify because they're going to support free speech. That's not free speech, though. I don't know. It's just I don't think people that potentially say that word have never been around like an actual black community. I just think personally, that is my experience through the entire thing. Most people that say it, whether they're rapping songs and they like, no, it's okay, I'm rapping a song, whatever. Well, it's okay, I guess, if you've never been around a potential ass beating coming from said word coming out because of the potential damages. It's just wild weekend for sure. Excited that the Super Bowl is here. Yeah. Excited to be going out to LA and excited for the world that is. I mean, it's a wild time to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
And sports are going to be a beautiful thing to hopefully bring everybody together. That Olympics, I know everybody's pissed off about where it's at, but our athletes have put in a lot of fucking work to get there. And it is a shame that there's probably some little girl in America right now that is a figure skating, enthusiast.
Right.
Protege.
And to be good at figure skating, you're probably going to wake up like 4 or 5 a.m., go on the ice, do your thing. You're stretching all the time. It is probably not a fun thing. And if you make it, you might make some money if you win a gold medal or silver or anything like that. You might make some money. Most of the time, you're making no cash, working your ass off in hopes of making it to the Olympics. So it takes a special person to make the Olympics, especially in the modern world we're in where money can be made in a lot of different fashions. So to dedicate yourself to something, a exercise or a sport that is not very popular except for once every 4 years and you're going to make no money, I have the utmost respect for our athletes and the athletes that do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to watch this thing. With that being said, the women's figure skating thing is on lock for the next 30 years.
That's not good.
The Russians got a 15-year-old. What is this? They say phenom. They say prodigy. Weir said, and he said, I've seen a lot of figure skating. He said, this is the greatest figure skater I've ever seen, he said.
Whoa.
So me and my wife are watching. We're like, chill the fuck out, huh? Can we talk a little bit more pro-American on some of these broadcasts? And also, I don't need a commentator telling me everything that's wrong with what I'm watching. Tell me everything that's right. This used to happen with the X Games. I'd turn on the X Games, and I'd see somebody do some insane 790 McTwisty death drop thing, okay? And then all of a sudden, you hear the commentator go, could have held it a little longer. Should have done that. It's like, I don't fucking know that. The people that are watching have no idea. So I'm watching these sports that I know nothing about. I watch every 4 years. I'm pumped for the American athlete that has given their entire life to get to this point. And most of these commentators feel as if, I don't know if they feel like they have to tell the truth amongst their little community in that sport or whatever, but they're just put them over.
Yeah.
Put over what they're doing instead of pointing out every negative. There was no negatives about 15-year-old Kamila Valieva.
Okay.
She is unstoppable on the ice. You're talking about being taller, more athletic, more dramatic, because that's a figure skating thing, than everybody. So if you're a little girl and you're planning on figure skating, do something else.
Play hockey.
Yeah, the Russians got us. The Russians got everybody with Kamila Valieva. And that's what I learned this weekend. I'm supposed to do one of those ski squirrel suit jump things.
Oh, yeah.
Downhill or whatever.
Shout out to Jalen Locke, I believe her name was. Jalen.
For the mogul?
Koff.
Yeah.
Jalen Koff, the silver medalist for the moguls. I mean, we are not great at a lot of these sports.
No.
This really isn't our thing.
Well,
there's somebody from Estonia that performed better than the Americans, and they have 0 peaks of above 1,000 feet or something like that. We got 15 of them over 40, like in Denver or whatever. I feel like we should be better at the Winter Olympics. We are not. That's been a little disappointing at Ty Schmidt.
yeah, that's what's been tough. Is if you're just popping in and trying to watch one of the events, there's a very good chance you're not seeing a fucking American up there. It's like, okay, we got another, Austrian. We got another person from Germany. We got another person from Russia.
Yeah.
We got
there's an American. who's competing for China, actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
Yeah, and she's very good. Very, very good. 18-year-old girl from California representing China because her mom is from Beijing.
Okay.
Her dad's from San Francisco, I believe. She's a ski jump twisty McTwist thing. She's very talented, very good. She's representing China, but yet you don't see a lot of. You're not seeing a lot of Americans. There's two Americans. There's 18. I think there's another figure skater from America representing China as well.
Wow. Isn't there a wrestler doing it too?
Yeah, seen
Like
it.
18-time world champion or something?
Come on. Boston Connor is here with his toxicity. At Tone Diggs is here. Anyways, the Olympics, I was watching it because there's really nothing else to watch. Tried to watch that NASCAR race. Those cars were too big for that track.
Yeah, it was too small. Too small.
I understand everybody in NASCAR world was tweeting me like, Pro Bowl stinks. Why don't you pop over to the LA Coliseum, the Busch Light Clash? So I did. I popped over there. I'm like, these cars, this seems to be out of a movie where the cars are way too big for the goddamn track. And I know Logano got a win. Congrats, Logano.
Way to go, Logano.
And I know, Paisan Logano. And I know that after lap 35, he was able to get a good take on Kyle Busch because KY was leading that thing.
Yeah.
You know why KY was leading that thing? Because KY drives like a dick. And whenever it's a small track, big cars, the dick driver probably going to win.
Hell yeah.
Because he's not going to be scared to go ahead and mix it up. He might end up on the 50-yard line as he's trying to go down each sideline of the LA Coliseum. It was a football field that they put a NASCAR quarter-mile track way too small. But they were talking and raving about it. They were buzzing about it. Congrats, Logano. Although Kyle Busch was supposed to win that thing. There's a lot of other things happening around the world. And joining us now early, although it's 13 minutes in, I do feel bad. It does tie in perfectly because big news of the week, Aaron Rodgers was visiting with the Cleveland Browns this weekend.
Yeah.
He was seen in Ohio. Yep, he was seen in Ohio next to a random woman and kids at a youth basketball game. To give us more information, a man who is from Ohio, in his attic currently, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk. AJ, I know you didn't get a chance to see much of the Olympics. I know you probably didn't get to see the Pro Bowl. Did you see Aaron Rodgers next to a random woman at a youth basketball game in Ohio, and what was that all about?
I was able to see that thanks to General Bob Carpenter for reposting, I think, a picture and putting it out there. Yeah, I mean, Aaron seemed to be taking in some high-level fifth-grade girls basketball, I think.
Well, we had ears in the auditorium or the gymnasium in which that game was being played. They said in that same fifth-grade basketball game that Aaron was sitting next to a very random woman watching. One of the coaches was calling out plays for the team, and one of the plays was called football. So the coach of the fifth grade basketball team was screaming, football, football, football. Do you happen to know any basketball plays titled football? And
Did someone really tell you that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually, that is a play we have. Hey, I never called that out there. The girls brought that to me. Like they ran this little handoff play that they called out. So maybe I yelled football a few times. Yeah, that's one of our players.
Okay, so Aaron, that was your fifth grade basketball game he was at.
That one might have been, yeah, he was at a few different kids' basketball games. He was at my youngsters' game earlier, too.
Okay, so he was with you. He wasn't visiting Cleveland Browns, just taking out.
No, he was here, and then all of a sudden we'd go in, like, hey, we're going to dinner at 8, and went in there to his room, and he left a note. Sorry, I had to run to Cleveland quick. I'll be back later. Whoa. And then he showed up like at midnight with, I think he had a Browns hat he tried to hide in his back pocket. But, yeah, he was there.
Okay, so I don't know if we should put that on the ticker or not because I don't know if.
No, he would. If he was talking to anyone in Cleveland, he didn't let me know.
But he was at your house.
Yeah, why?
You let that immunized son of a bitch.
Can't believe it.
He better been masked the whole time.
Did he keep his,
He was masked most of the time, I think.
Well, most of the
the
time,
picture he is, yeah.
It only takes 1 second.
Oh, that's really cool, though. What is he doing? So he flew. Well, you hold your breath. So I've learned that as well.
Shout out.
You just got to hold your breath, which is what we need to do in LA.
Yep.
Listen,
Yeah.
all week.
Whole time.
We're the
I
mask.
can hold my breath for a long time, man. I love the water. I love going underwater and holding my breath. So it'll be a good test for us out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You either are masked or you're holding your goddamn breath. You hear
got
me?
it. You got it. You got
We're
it.
going to save the world out there.
Have to.
Anyway, so you're saying he flew out to your house just to watch your kids' basketball games? There was no other intent? He was just hanging out with you guys?
Yeah, he didn't come strictly to watch basketball. Like, yeah, he usually comes in the off season at some point, and this time it worked out before he went back to California. So yeah, he was here for a while. Like, when I said, hey, I had a plan for my kids on Friday, it was him. He watched all 4 of my kids during the show. My wife was out of town.
Oh, that's very nice of him. Look at that. That never gets said. He better have had a mask on with those kids.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
He had a hazmat. We made him wear a hazmat suit.
Nice.
That's good. Dad of the year. Dad of the year. Dad of the year. He's back in California. Is he excited for all the Super Bowl stuff? And have you and he chatted about all the speculation about his future, obviously, over the last couple of days while he's staying at your house?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't dig into specifics about all the football.
Here you go. So, AJ, listen.
Like I said before, I don't think anybody knows anything. I really don't. He's not sitting there broadcasting any of what's going on. But I think the one thing I would take away from being around him all weekend for multiple days and talking to him a lot, like, he seems to be in a great place. He seems to be very happy with where he's at, whatever decision he does make, whatever he's got going on. He seems to be he seems to be great.
Now, obviously, you're in a terrible position, and we continue to put you in that type of situation.
I don't care. We meant to FaceTime you a few times.
Well, I'm happy you didn't. I was on cloud 55 this week. It's the longest NFL season of all time.
We actually texted you before SmackDown a few times. We turned it on early. I missed the pants combo. And hey, credit to Michael Cole for throwing a jab at me too. He is very quick. That was great.
That was fantastic. And I'll tell you, that SmackDown show,
pretty good.
It was an interesting show for sure. That's the most interesting show I've ever been a part of. Most interesting show I've ever been a part of. Me and Cole actually talked during a lot of the breaks during the show, believe it or not. And there was a lot of, this is an interesting show.
We'll remember this one forever.
This is interesting. We might talk about this show forever. So whenever we finally got to an AJ Hawk reference, I think there was levels. I think Michael Cole was already potentially, he was potentially already, he was on the next show.
Sure. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, we're on the road. You're right.
Come on.
What is going on?
Yeah.
We need some stuff. Goldberg came back.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Goldberg's awesome.
Where's Gilbert, though?
Well, Gilbert, I think he's okay.
Unfortunately, he did not.
He's doing just fine.
Whoa.
What are you?
We are not having a moment of silence for Gilbert.
Yeah.
Unless he.
Nothing.
Do you
What
know
are you talking
something
about,
we
Tony?
don't know?
Tony, you're saying a lot of shit early here today, huh? Is this how we're starting a Super Bowl week? We're lying about Gilbert?
I'd like to be positive once I get to LA, so you got to get the fuck out right now.
Smart. Indiana toxicity cannot make its way west.
Exactly.
I don't know about that.
Because you bring toxicity out there, they'll put you in jail for 4 to 5 weeks.
Oh, jeez.
All right, get it all out.
Tony.
Come on, dude.
Get it all out.
Get it out.
Get it all out. But let's talk about you talking to Aaron. You don't think retirement is ever, do you think still? You think that's maybe something or no?
I took this stance last year. I don't think he's going to retire. He's too good. I still hold that stance.
Okay. So put that on.
Here we go.
If we were going to, we'd put
I don't
that
think
on.
he knows, though. I don't think he knows one way or the other what he's going to do. But like I said before, I tell him directly to his face. So, you're going to retire? If anyone tries to say, when we ask him on here if he's going to retire or whatever, I always tell him, just like I do on here, no, you're not. You're too good to retire. You love football. You're going to play.
Well, he loves competition. Who knows where else he could find it? Maybe he's thinking about being able to find it in other places. His decision. Is he dating a woman in Ohio?
Bobby. So, yeah, the lady he was sitting next to, I believe in one of the pictures of my wife. Yeah.
Wow.
Laura Hawk.
What?
Wow. She's all over the internet, all over the place.
Yeah, she loves that. Luckily, she's not really on the internet, so she doesn't really know. Or she knows because she got sent a picture from one of our friends that, look at Bob. Here you go, Bob, getting some pub by reposting that.
Okay, so let's talk. I love that. I guess if Bob's going to get posted, if Bob's going to get love out of it, we're
Let it
cool
eat,
with it.
Bob.
Go ahead, Bob. Let all your jokes fly, Bob. That's awesome. We love, obviously, your wife's an incredibly cool person. We love Bob Carpenter. We like the fact that Aaron Rodgers was there. I assume he made the Pro Bowl, this guy? Mm-hmm. He opted out of the Pro Bowl. Why is that? Is he not healthy? Why didn't he want to go out there and play in Las Vegas?
I don't know. I think he told him early on. You know, I think that he's probably rehabbing multiple other things. He was moving around fine. We didn't work out. We didn't go out in the yard and run routes in the 18 inches of snow we had. But But yeah, he seems to be doing all right.
That Pro Bowl was terrible. And listen,
you can't play half speed football. That's just how it works.
I had somebody tweet me. They're like, "This is a glorified shell spirit." I was like, "I disagree. This is a dulled down shell spirit.
Yeah.
This isn't even. It wasn't even a shell. Shell is, by the way, shoulder pads, shorts. That is practice. There's
still big time. You bang big time in shells.
Bing. Offensive line, defensive line. There are moments in shells where they are going because the only thing that isn't full pads is the pants. So I think guys just liked it because you're able to put on shorts, and I guess it meant you're not going all the way to the ground.
Just feels so much better. It does feel so much better when you don't have to wear those restrictive pants in practice. It does something to free you up mentally, I think.
Well, and also you're not going all the way to the ground ever in shells, right?
No, you shouldn't. I mean, if you're a good team, you're not.
Yeah, so shells, though, there's still some pops. So
Big time.
a lot of people on the internet were like, this is a shells practice, this is shells. That was a skelly. That was a beanies on head walkthrough with pads on. And I can respect it out of the players, by the way, AJ. I respect it. Listen, there's a lot of money on the line. We all know a lot more things. Who knows how hydrated everybody on that field was?
Yeah.
Vegas for a Pro Bowl, I couldn't even fathom it. Obviously, there was a situation after the game in which I assume somebody said absolutely nothing to Alvin Kamara.
Right.
And Alvin Kamara just, or didn't absolutely
Did that
nothing.
happen? But did this happen before the game and then it came to light after the game? How did that work?
I'm not sure. I was very intrigued by it all. Were they celebrating after the game? But he was on the losing team. He should have been
It
upset.
seemed pretty quick, though. Like, it was like 5:50 p.m. So I'm like, could it have happened between the game and then? Or is it the night before?
No, I don't know. But the Pro Bowl is a good time. As somebody's been there, there's a lot of boozing at the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's like it's almost like spring, like a spring break.
Ooh.
For NFL guys. You get a chance to meet a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody's a booze hound. Obviously, Mac Jones was on top of his game all week.
That's right, crushing
Mac Jones won the Pro Bowl. Love Mac Jones. I'm a big fan of Mac Jones because I believe once he gritted, he actually said, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I think. It wasn't on the right camera, which I love. I like the shit talk. He and Chandler Jones, I think, were getting along very well. Him and all his teammates seem to have a good time. Mac Jones won the Pro Bowl in my eyes.
By far. And Renfro, I mean, that throw to Renfro, you can see him in a New England Patriots uniform in, 18 months probably? Let's be real.
Okay, so, I mean, who knows if that's the way anybody else is thinking aside from the massholes that love the Patriots. But that Pro Bowl is a big-time get-together, have good time crew. And the fact that it was in Vegas as well, I was worried about the hydration level of the boys out there, and I think they were as well. That's why they weren't going as fast, AJ.
That might be. You don't want to pop a hammy because that's when it happens, days like that. But the good thing is, though, they're in Vegas. So hopefully they have, like, set up the mobile IV clinics that came to the locker room and maybe, hook the guys up.
Yeah, and there's another thing to think about. Let alone getting hurt long term, but if you tweak anything and you got 2 to 3 weeks of rehab on an injury that you sustained in the Pro Bowl, and that eats into the 2 months that you have off, basically, there is just zero thought for any of these players to try hard. And I understand it. I get it. I know why they don't want to, but we can't just have them keep trotting out there on the fucking field and putting that on the field. That can't happen. Like, there has to be ways around this. The NHL does their little gimmicky 3-on-3 thing, and the Metro won, by the way. How you doing? That's Pittsburgh Penguins, by the way. That's Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. That's Pittsburgh Penguins, by the way. Best fucking division in all of hockey. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
How are they doing? Are they doing good?
Well, they're a little snide. We won 17 on the last 26. 17 on the last 26.
That's pretty good.
It matters after the All-Star break.
It was 17 and 19, by the way. But I think all these other sports, they do their all-star games in the middle of the season because it's a commercial to say, hey, we exist. Right? Like the NHL has their all-star game in the middle of it, and they're hoping to have all their best players there, and it can be a great commercial. Like, hey, here we go.
Great point. That's a great point I didn't think of because if it's after the season, how is anyone tuning in?
Bingo. So they do. Hockey does it, basketball does it, baseball does it. They do it in the middle of the season to let everybody on earth know that our season is happening. And by the way, after All-Star break is always the most important stuff. So it's like a blast off, a kickoff. Here's our league's best. And then we're just about to get into the best part of our season as well. It's beautiful marketing. It's good marketing. But I don't think guys are giving much effort in those as well because if they get hurt, they're fucked. Now, there's little spectacular skills challenge, the NHL. That dude who did the dodgeball blindfolded, he didn't win. And he was like number 4 or 5 on SportsCenter Top 10 when a basic dunk had number 3. I'm like, all right, I don't think anybody fully understands what the fuck dude just did in the media world. But the NFL doesn't need that, right? The NFL isn't doing it to let people know that there's still a season. They're not doing it to let people know the Super Bowl's next week. Why not just completely reshape that thing and have a much different experience for the players, for the coaches, for the fans, for the game, for the league? I just feel like that is something that needs to go back to the drawing board.
Especially when you look at it now, too. Like, most of these guys who are playing, that their seasons have been over for like a month plus. Like, a lot of those guys are going on vacation, right? It's not like you're training and like getting ready for the Pro Bowl. Like, a lot of times these guys are probably coming back in, and it's like, hey, there is a good chance these guys get hurt if they're not doing what they did yesterday.
Well, and Tyreek Hill is doing Stone Cold Wide over there at NHL All-Star game, which I love. I assume Tyreek was the only one doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then people are like, why aren't they going hard? It's like, I don't know. They were drunk probably till 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Las Vegas.
They're celebrating. They're having a good time. They just need to reshape that entire thing. Joining us now is a man whose big old brain will probably be covering the NFL at some point. We can hope.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
The league needs this guy because he and Fowler are the greatest college football announcers the world has ever seen. The face of college football, the incredibly handsome Ohio guy, Kirk Herbstreit. What's up, dude?
How we doing?
Hey, not as good as you. Look at you, just getting back from a dog walk out there in the snow. What do you got going on?
My man right here. I'm driving back to Nashville. My man is he's already an hour in. He's had enough.
What's his name?
That's Ben.
What up, Ben? Hey, thanks for being on the show, Ben. Hey, sit. Lay. Good dog. Good dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
You got Elk Pride on here.
yeah, I mean, Centerville Elks, 2 of Centerville Elks' finest, one who retired the other. Kirk, we always talk about this story. Can you refresh us? Did AJ purposefully headhunt you and knock you out as a sophomore in high school in that alumni game, do you think? Is that how you saw that whole thing playing out?
Well, if we would have had the tape rolling, they would have reviewed that, and he would have been ejected from No, he went top of the helmet into my temple, and I officially shut football out of my life. Dude's got a heavy head. It's like concrete. It's just a big, strong, and he was only, what were you, about 15, 16 years old?
Yeah, I think I was 15 there, going into my sophomore year. Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah, he came in with bad intentions.
Well,
Kirk, you were a grown man, though. Kirk was a grown man out there. I was trying to protect myself. Kirk brought some buddies too. I think there's a couple of Ohio State helmets out there. I'm like, man, someone's gonna kill me. Like I gotta fly around this field.
By the way, his older brother, I know you met Ryan, was an absolute baller. I mean, AJ, we know about AJ, but his older brother, man, I think he was the best quarterback to ever play at our high school. He was a good player. Have you met him?
no, I've never met him. He's not better than Kirk Herbstreit. We got to call you back, by the way. It's not a good connection on our side. We will call you back immediately because we can't laugh at good stories whenever connections like that. So you did try to kill him. And by the way, your face, whenever he complimented the size and heaviness of your head, that was the best compliment you've ever received, it felt like.
I was gonna say that, but it was too choppy. I didn't want to mess up his audio. Yeah, I was gonna thank him.
I mean, why doesn't AJ give his brother any flowers? I didn't know Ryan Hawk was the superstar of Centerville.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the heaviest head to ever come through
He's
Centerville.
quarterback. Yeah, he's got a heavy, thick head too, but he was a quarterback.
So you're saying he's soft or what?
No, not at all. He's just built differently than me.
How come we don't know about Ryan Hawk?
Yeah.
How come we don't talk about him enough?
I don't know. He's got a second book coming out here very soon.
Oh, the guy's an author?
Oh my God!
Taking photos like this.
The way he said that, though, I can tell AJ hates his brother. I didn't know that.
No. Ryan's a good guy.
I mean, obviously, Connor, that's garbage. But yeah, I have a very good relationship with both my older brothers.
I remember he completed like a 48-yard pass at an Iowa game I went to when I was like 8 years old. Big Ben was starting. Ryan Hawk came in and completed a fucking bomb. I don't know if it was a touchdown, but I remember that.
Joining us now, Ryan Hawk's biggest advocate, thank God, voice of college football, Kirk Herbstreit. Hey! Herbie, what's up, dude?
How we doing, guys? How we doing?
I think it's on us, but we'll get through it. Hey, Herbie, let's talk about this. Obviously, you Centerville guy, Ohio guy. The Cincinnati Bengals make it to the Super Bowl. It is a young crew, a crew that you got to cover a lot in college and talk about. What is so special about this team? Do you think it's the fact that they don't know what they don't know? They have this unwavering moxie. What do you think it makes this team so special? And is this for years to come, you think, the beautiful city of Cincinnati?
I think first thing you got to start with, everybody's excited, in Ohio, and I think anybody watching the NFL is excited with what the Bengals have done. But I followed the Bengals since the late 70s, and you and I were texting a little bit back and forth. I would argue after Paul Brown passed and Mike Brown took over, I would argue that over the last 25 or 30 years, the Bengals have been right in that discussion for one of the worst franchises in all of professional sports. It was the guys that very few wanted to go to as a free agent. It was the franchise that when you got drafted to that team, there was some angst and some frustration. Think about Carson Palmer. That dude was ready to just shut it down before he had to come back and play again. And you had Corey Dillon, who was a running back that was ready to retire. He ended up going to New England. And there are a lot of players over the years that have been fighting to get out of playing for that organization. And so you're going to tell me in 2021 and 2022 that they're not only in the Super Bowl, but they're now a cool brand. Like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I think that's more impressive than the fact that they're in the Super Bowl, is that they've made the Cincinnati Bengals logo. Like you can wear a Bengals hat and be in LAX or be anywhere in the country, and people are going to look at you like, oh, well, what's up? Whereas before, it was like wearing, I don't know, Orlando Magic hat.
Sacramento Kings?
Sacramento Kings. I mean, you name it, right? And it was bad as you guys tell me, because you follow all sports, who is at that level of mediocrity for so long?
Oh, mediocrity. That's above the Lions. Lions were a little bit below mediocrity.
The Lions are the worst sport franchise in all sports, by far and away.
That's fair. But honestly, I would put the Bengals in that discussion. And all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, you got Joey Burrow and winning playoff games and on the road at Nissan over in Nashville. They go to Kansas City against Mahomes. Nobody's going to beat Mahomes. And they beat them. And it's just the flair that he has to go along with his game. You know, those of us who followed him very, very closely in college knew about, this guy and almost like an assassin. He's not just a good player. He's got a different kind of approach as a quarterback, more of a line approach. Quick story about him. When I was covering LSU in 2019, the year they went on to win the national championship, I was sitting around with Jefferson, the receiver, and Chase, and all these guys that ended up becoming great players. And I was like, let me know. You guys beat Texas. You're winning in the SEC. We didn't know yet they were going to win it all. I go, tell me about how Joe leaves Ohio State and how did he win you guys over? And they said, man, first day of practice, he came out. Devin White was our middle linebacker and the alpha of our team. And Devin White in a team drill hit him late. And instead of just taking the hit, he hit him back and got into a huge melee, ended the practice, big brawl, offense against defense. And he's like, that day, that we looked at him, was like, that's our quarterback. And so you don't find most quarterbacks taking on Devin White as the new guy on campus other than Joe Burrow. And if you would ask AJ or me or anybody who followed him when he was at Ohio State, no one knew any of these characteristics because of JT Barrett and then Dwayne Haskins. So he had to go to LSU for us to really see what he had in him from an intangible standpoint. So his game's ridiculous, but it's what's in his heart to me and the flair that he plays the game with that I think makes him so unique.
He's a dog.
Guys respond to him. It seems like he just has whatever that is. But what about his head coach, Zach Taylor? Now, the turnaround this team has had, obviously, since Joe got there is unbelievable. Does Zach Taylor deserve more credit? I feel like he kind of flies under the radar because he's not like a huge personality, but he could have messed this thing up too. And they're still in the Super Bowl, and he has to be a big reason of that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And he's got it almost feels like you're following a college team when you watch some of their post-game, when he's giving game balls out. You wonder, you guys have lived in that NFL locker room. You wonder, can you do some of the stuff when it comes to the camaraderie? And like Braves does it, I feel like, with the Titans. But can you talk to an NFL team, bunch of grown men who have big contracts about, here's a game ball and we're winning this together for the team. But they really feel like that. They've really rallied around his leadership. And I think the most important thing he did, he looked at Joe Brady's system and what they were doing at LSU. And let's face it, that 2019 LSU offense, if it's not the best college offense we've ever seen, it's right up there in the top one or two best offenses of all time. And Joe Burrow, if you go back and watch that offense, one of the things he did a really good job of is the ball was out of his hands on time. Always on time. The ball was out. He made quick, decisive decisions, and boom, the ball was out and it was accurate. And Zach Taylor implemented a very similar system that Joe ran in college. And so I think it was more of a turnkey approach for Burrow to come into the NFL. And Zach Taylor deserves a lot of credit for kind of building the pieces. Look at the pieces now around Burrow with Mixon in the backfield, Boyd, T. Higgins, even the tight end. Hopefully he can play in this game. But man, they don't just have one guy. It's not just Jamar Chase. They got as many weapons around Joe Burrow as you're going to find in the league right now.
Hey, man, listen, you're breaking it down in beautiful fashion, but every 18-wheeler that passes, I just have a sigh of relief that it's not taking you out. I just want to let you know that. Yeah. For those that are listening, Kirk Herbstreit's on the side of a highway going back to Nashville with his beautiful dog Ben in the back keeping guard, but there has been no less than 50 trucks that have drove by at very rapid speeds.
They're going fast.
We actually heard one right by on the other side there. We're happy you're okay, Herbie.
Yeah,
Herbie. I guess we'll only ask a couple more questions. Don't want to be a part of this whole thing. When you look at the college football landscape and you see these young guys having massive success, do you see that continuing to happen? Do you see the level of younger players continuing to get better and better in the NFL game, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you guys, again, when you played in the NFL, Pat, I think there was two different games. You know, when you watch college football and then you watch NFL football, I don't know, for me, it just felt like we were looking at two completely different games. And I feel like now when I watch college football and I watch NFL football, it feels like the NFL occasionally is taking some of the college game. And I feel like the college game obviously is stealing from the NFL. I think Andy Reid's a great example. I think what they're doing in Baltimore is a good example. Forever, it was NFL executives and head coaches trying to figure out, how are we going to take a college quarterback who doesn't huddle, who looks over at 5 signs on the sideline, who maybe says one word if he does huddle, and that's the play. How are we going to get them to run John Gruden style of offense where it's an entire paragraph that he has to say and recite in the huddle?
Wow.
And over the years, it became more and more challenging because more and more college offenses, especially the Big 12, they were going to that style. And the Sam Bradford era, Colt McCoy, remember that? I mean, it was just like, how do you figure out if Sam Bradford's going to be a good NFL quarterback? And I think now it's just so different. Kyler Murray, what he ran at Oklahoma, his head coach obviously was hired to bring him in, and eventually they run a very similar system. So yeah, I think we're right now at a very good time in NFL football where big enough decision makers and guys that have had a lot of success, like Andy Reid with Pat Mahomes, they've tweaked their system to the college quarterback instead of saying, nope, round, square, or whatever what's that saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, round peg in a square hole.
Square hole. We're running our system,
Nailed it.
and this kid's going to have to learn how we do it in the National Football League.
Number 2.
The teams that are winning, man, they're not doing that, and I think that's a really smart way to try to adjust and kind of best out of these quarterbacks that are.
We told him to drive.
Yeah.
We told him it is on us. You should put a big photo of him on the screen.
Dead zone.
His eyes, he was Undertaker in right there in the middle of that thing.
Dead zone was inevitable.
I think that's a fair assessment, though. I think that's a very fair assessment there. I think, Herbie, we told you to move so you don't die, and then turns out you went into a dead zone. So, that's a very interesting. That's very interesting. This show, Herbie, great answer there, though. It's very real too. I think we talked about this before, but now as we're seeing the continual success of Joe Burrow, I think that he missed out a large portion of his rookie season because how many hits, and now he's in his second year, and he said, I'm going to celebrate every championship game we win because he doesn't know how many are going to happen or whatever. It's a very fascinating thing, this Cincinnati Bengals squad, who has to go to the University of Cincinnati Bearcats indoor practice facility after the women's lacrosse squad, I believe, before intramural disc golf and ultimate frisbee. That's how they're getting it done. It's amazing what they're doing over there.
Dude, you have to tell me. Because, A.J. Hawk, he played in the NFL a long time, but he enjoyed Woody Hayes' facility over at Ohio State. You guys have facilities over in Morgantown. I'm around these college facilities all the time. Is what Cincinnati, because I just drove by their stadium, and just to the west of their stadium, next to it looks like, I don't know what it looks like, some kind of heavy industrial work site with trains going by it. Just off, and A.J. was out there on that practice.
I think it's a concrete plant right there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, these guys leave college football, and it looks like they take a step backwards when it comes to facilities. Is that pretty common?
No, Herbie. No, Herbie. That is, and I believe when guys go to the Bengals, that thing you all talked about, how guys get a little leery when they get drafted to Cincinnati. It's because you don't just take a step backwards. With facilities, especially LSU and Alabama, they're taking a good 10 to 15 steps back. Yeah. I mean, they're a corner. They are a corner, and they are backpedaling, never getting into transition whenever they get to the Cincinnati Bengals next to a concrete plant under a highway. I did not know the concrete plant thing was happening. I'm going to add that into my. They need a goddamn facility, Herbie. Why don't you donate one to them? Why doesn't Herb Street donate an indoor facility to these boys?
But dude, you get to the Super Bowl. God forbid you win the Super Bowl. Don't you think that should be a new mandate? Like you got to upgrade the facility, right?
Well, my fear is this, Herbie. My fears are going to be like, I want a Super Bowl without an indoor facility in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. What's the point having a facility? We'll wait behind the women's softball team over before we practice. We're fine.
Hey, listen, by the way, shout out to the Bearcats.
Shout out.
All the Bearcats.
Boy, Fickle.
They're all great. They got a better indoor practice facility than the Bengals, who don't actually have one. What is your game plan over the next few weeks and months? When do you start diving into the college world? Because that roster turns over every single year, right? Everywhere. When do you start memorizing and kind of making predictions and getting ready for game day?
Dude, transitions now like every.
That's what it looks like.
Up with rosters at all. I have no idea. I'm looking forward to. I'll do a spring game. I'll cover the draft this year. But I really try to play because I'm so hard on the sport from like June until January. I try to back away from it a little bit just to kind of recharge the battery.
Kirk, quick pivot. What the hell is going on in Michigan and Jim Harbaugh? Did he lose both of his coordinators? He interviewed for the Vikings job, and now he's back at Michigan. Like, what's going on?
They're dead up there. He missed signing day. He was in there in a meeting.
Whoa.
My big thing there is, I mean, obviously, everyone's been having rumors out about Harbaugh potentially going back to the NFL forever. But how does this get out? You know, like how in the world does he go as far as he went with the Vikings? And I don't know if he turned it down, they turned it down, whatever happened. And now you got to go back into that meeting room where they say, who's got it better than us? You know, nobody. And you look at both your coordinators, man, they had so much momentum at the end of the regular season. They beat Ohio State. Think about that scene at the Big House after they beat Ohio State. They followed up the next week with a win in the Big Ten championship against Iowa. And I know it didn't go well, but they were a playoff team in Georgia, and they had a ton of momentum. And again, I don't fault him for looking at potentially going to another job, but I guess the way it was handled clearly did not work out that good. And then on the way out the door, the Frank Broyles Award winner takes kind of some shots with the text that he sent out to some of the players about basically, hey, here's a quick life lesson for you. If you feel like you're not wanted or respected at your current job, you need to move on. And so, I don't know. I mean, for all that momentum that they created, it seems like they're almost having to start all over again.
It's all right. Harbaugh, take his shirt off.
Yep.
Look at the boys back motivated over there. What is that award named? The Broyles?
Yeah, the Frank Broyles Award. Remember Frank Broyles used to coach at Arkansas? He was with Keith Jackson, you know, back, you probably listened to him a lot of times back in like the 80s. He was a great broadcaster.
I was born in 87. But I'm sure I listened. What is that, the best offensive coach in the country, though?
No, it's the best assistant coach in all of college football.
Oh, so it doesn't matter offense or defense. It's just who's the best assistant coach in all of college football. This guy who sent a text message to his boys saying, if you're ever not wanted in a situation, you need to leave, like I'm doing right now. I'm going down to the 305, hoping to turn that thing around. Is that what happened?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yikes. That's not good in the recruiting world, I don't think, Herbie.
No, but by the way, the bigger story is what's going on with Miami. You know, Miami now, they have opened up the purse strings, which is very unusual for them. They went out and hired Clemson's athletic director, They went out and got Mario Cristobal from Oregon, who's a former alum, played there back in the glory days in the early '90s, and he's killing it in recruiting. Now they've gone out. They want Kevin Steele, who's a really, really good defensive coordinator. He was most recently at Auburn when Auburn was playing great. And then they just ended up getting the new offensive coordinator, Josh Gaddis from Michigan. So in order to be able to do that, they're paying, which they've never done in the past. So the Canes trying to make some noise. I hope it works out for them. I like when Miami's good. It's good for the sport.
Yeah, we all do. And I think Ed Reed, is like the director of culture or whatever down there. And he's like, hey, I'm tired of us losing. Then Ray Lewis comes back and The Rock starts lifting a little bit. And everybody's like, hey, listen, we are going to start opening up a little bit. Let's start paying some people. Let's get some new facilities in here. Let's do it. I hope Miami goes on a run because – hey, the people in South Florida, the ballers down in South Florida, if they stay in Miami and that becomes a whole thing again, dead.
Yeah. We need them back. We need to get them back and get some of that energy back. It's been a long time. Remember, they almost went on to death, but they had almost a death penalty there for a while where they had that booster. Remember that? That was about, what was that, about 10 or 12 years ago?
Yeah, I watched a doc on that guy.
Nevin Shapiro.
Having him out there in the boats and the strip clubs and stuff. Hey, come on, hang out, have a good time. No big deal. Well, except for the fact that I'm going to rat as soon as I get caught for doing anything. What do you have, Tom?
Herbie, speaking of recruitment and purse strings, I don't know if you've seen the internet recently, but they are not happy about Texas A&M and having the #1 recruiting class and all the recruits that they got. Is it so wild to think that the Jimbo just can't recruit those guys?
How about his reaction? His reaction last week, he got. You should pull that up. He got a little bit irritated with not just media. He tried to pull out where the quote came from, and it was pretty funny to listen to him describe whoever the source was. But then he got after basically without saying Lane Kiffin's name, because Lane Kiffin's been doing a bunch of stuff on social media, basically taking shots at A&M for how much money they're spending. And he denied all of it. He said, you're implying that we can't recruit or that we don't have a great academic institution here to offer these recruits, and we don't have a great football program. He's like, it sounds like sour grapes, and we're coming after the SEC. And he's all wound up, man. But I have no idea what's true, what's not, in this world of NIL. There are always rumors that A&M has a bunch of money and a bunch of boosters that are throwing a big money into a pot and then just divvying it up to players and recruits. One thing I think needs to be understood with the NIL.
Love it.
When they came up with the NIL, it wasn't intended to become a bidding war on 18-year-old recruits. It was to give A.J. Hawk, who's a returning junior, who's an All-American, it's intended to help a guy like A.J. Hawk out or Pat after your freshman or sophomore year, like Jackson Smith and Jigba right now at Ohio State, or C.J. Stroud. Like, you're an established brand. Those are the guys that are supposed to profit off of NIL. When you start getting boosters involved in NIL and a kid that hasn't even stepped on campus, that's where I think you start to get into a kind of a gray area and an area that I don't know if it's necessarily in the best interest. At some point, they're going to have to put some parameters on NIL. Right now, it's just do whatever you want and pay players, do whatever. I just don't see that lasting very long.
Well, especially with the transfer portal, because if you get a contract to go play somewhere and you only last 6 months and you go into the transfer portal, who's renegotiating the buyout and the contract of that thing? I'm sure everybody has everybody's best interest in that. But any money that's going to anybody, I love it. I assume there's going to get corrected at some point, and we'll see how it goes. It's definitely going to change the entire game. I like that Jimbo Fisher, West Virginia guy saying, you're saying I can't talk the sweet pants off of anybody right? What are you even talking about? I love everything about that. Last question for me as we go here. What's going on with game day, dude? Huh? What's going on with game day? What do you got going on with game day?
Well, you know how I've felt about college game day when it comes to your involvement in the show, if that's who you're implying.
No, I'm talking about your plans next year. I'm talking about your plans. I'm not talking about that whole thing, obviously.
Well, my plans will have a lot to do with you calling me after the show and letting me know what's going on. But honestly, we're excited for this season. College football as much chaos as there is off the field, I don't know if the brand itself or the game itself's ever been better. I mean, when you think about last season, we finally had fans back after missing them in 20. The excitement, the energy, the passion, it's there every single week. Like from week 1, you're thinking, man, that was great. Then the next week, it's even better. And the next week. So we were lucky as a sport that we had so much juice every single week. And game day's right in the middle of it, obviously, every week. And we hope to continue to do that, man. Lee Corso is, I want to say he'll be 87.
Jeez. Wow.
87 years old, I believe. His birthday is August 7th. But yeah, man, what's great about College Game Day, and that'll 27 years next year for me. It never gets old. Like the stories constantly change. Players are constantly moving, and now with the portal, they're leaving and going to different schools. So it's not like you're covering the same story over and over and over. And for me, I love that. I love how it changes. I love how the names and faces continue to evolve. And yet the one thing that remains the same is the passion is there every single week, no matter where you go. And I don't take that for granted at all, covering that sport.
27 years on game day, huh? That's amazing. Hey, let's go. Has been on the road 27 years. That's a long time. Obviously, College Game Day has been very nice to all of us and to me. I appreciate my time. There is a conversation happening about that whole thing.
Really?
There is convo. Herbie, there is convos.
Well, can we hear a little bit about that?
No. We appreciate you, man. Stay safe. Thank you for joining us. Good luck to your Bengals, obviously. Good luck for next season. And are you going to be out at Super Bowl at all?
I'm going out there Friday, and then I'm doing a thing with Joe Montana with Wheels Up on Saturday. I'm going to come back to watch it with my son and my wife.
I think Joe Montana is going to be at an event that we're going to be at after that Wheels Up thing. You should swing by.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Text me. Let me know where. I'll definitely swing by.
Okay, have a couple. All right.
Okay.
Hey, we'll talk about what we're going to talk about right there live instead in person. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit. Thank you, everybody. There is real conversations happening about that, AJ.
Is there?
Yeah. And the interesting thing now that I, do all the conversations for myself, it's an interesting balance. It's an interesting balance because there's also other conversations happening. And then there's another conversation happening.
What?
And then it's like, well, which one seems to be real? Which one do I want to do? We are being grotesquely overpaid by one of our marketing partners, so it's a nice pick and choose thing. But I fucking love Herbstreit. And that game day thing was a great time. I love those people over there.
27 years, man. I can't believe he's been there that long.
It's rock star life, dude.
Yeah.
Long time.
What are you doing? You got any news to break before you hop on the road to head this way for us to fly to LA?
I do not think I have any news to break. What would there be to break?
Well, you were with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Anything.
Guy stayed with
It's
you all week.
documented history that you were, him, his girl, you, your wife, out there in Ohio.
Okay.
Did he pick Bisaccia to be the
Packers special teams coordinator?
Good question.
Bisaccia got hired, I guess, after he left yesterday. So I don't know. We didn't even get to talk about it. That seems like a dynamite hire, though. Everyone's pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'd say that's a dynamite hire. And by the way, makes team better immediately, everybody would assume. Does that make the Packers more appeasing for Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. You tell me.
How's the family? Much better now. The gravy that Bisaccia is going to bring into that. Oh, my. Hey, Aaron, stick around.
Hey, what you say, eh?
The Fazzolini Bisaccia.
Hey, what you say, huh?
Don't make him an offer he can't refuse.
Hey. Maybe you play punter. Aaron.
You want to hold, huh?
Aaron, maybe you hold. We run fake every time. How's
What do you say?
As long as you sign back here, dude. I came here because I was told we have a quarterback. I'd like to have a fucking quarterback in the family, you know what I mean? Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
They're talking about trading maybe Carson Wentz or something like that. I didn't fucking come here for Carson Wentz, all right? How's your family? Not good. That's if Carson Wentz is not a quarterback. You know what I mean? How's the family? What if Josh McCown's the new quarterback for the Packers next year?
That'd be sweet.
What if Josh...
Is he looking around? Our teams are calling him up to play.
It's possible.
Good.
He's done, I think, dude. He's completely done. I mean, He's not the head coach. Oh, yeah, we got more news to break in the next hour. AJ, safe travels. We appreciate you. There's a lot to talk about, obviously. Lovie Smith, Mike McDaniels, the Pro Bowl, new rules. We're flying out to L.A. We can't have any fans Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday during our show, but we will have a 7 p.m. Eastern stream on our YouTube, 4 p.m. local, hopefully live from the convention center in front of fans. Big surprises, big giveaway.
Hell yeah.
Thursday, you're saying?
Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday. 4 o'clock local, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a stream. Big surprise, big giveaways. AJ Hawk will be there. The boys will be there. Super duper surprise guest will be there.
Hell yeah.
And we'll do a bunch of giveaways. And we'll be able to be live in front of people, hopefully, for the first time. Why are they having it 3 to 10?
That makes no sense. I don't know.
No idea.
COVID at night doesn't exist.
I don't remember fans ever being in Radio Row, though.
Yeah. I think there
They're
has
like
been.
not like right on top of the show. It was like maybe out in like the lobby area or something.
No, there's always been like a mill around.
Yeah, I
There's
thought
always
Atlanta.
been like a mill.
Yeah.
Atlanta, when you went, I thought there were fans there.
Yeah. And there was supposed to be, we saw a drawing, it said fans
Yeah.
right here.
Well, you'd think that's part of the purpose of having it in the convention center, right? Because it's big enough where you can kind of snake people in and out of sets and.
They can just, they don't, not on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday. They can come at 3
Yep.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Hell
Who's
yeah.
doing a show at 3 o'clock over there? That's 6 p.m.?
Is
Who's
that drive? Is that they call that drive time? When people driving home from work? Is that what they want the fans for?
6 p.m.? I don't know.
I
That's
was driving home from work.
6 Eastern.
What the hell?
I don't know. I don't understand how the whole scheduling. I don't understand regular radio.
Well, I don't understand anything really, especially with. Good thing is,
It's gonna be sweet though. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
hell yeah,
Right here.
Yeah. Everybody's good.
everybody's good. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes. AJ will not be. He'll be driving to Indianapolis. We can't wait to see you, buddy.
I will be there. It's gonna be fun.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm excited for us all to get out there.
Hell yeah.
Got a couple houses.
Weather looks great.
Some vitamins, I think, are out there.
What?
It's gonna be really hot.
Got a lot of in-person guests that are huge, I think.
Yeah.
Should be. We're going to kick out of here.
AJ.
I just can't wait to see. How's the setup? Does he say the setup's good?
The setup looks good. He said there's not a lot of people there.
Not a
yet,
lot of their
incidentally.
shows set up.
Nah, not a lot of not a lot of. We'll see. We'll be there tomorrow. We'll talk all about it. Can't wait to probably be like, oh, it's a waste of time. Should have stayed in Indianapolis. That's probably going to be, but I would like to be, at least grateful a little bit. But it's a celebration of the year that was.
Hell yeah.
We'll be back in about 4 minutes. We can't thank you enough for joining us. AJ, safe travels. We'll see you soon. In the second hour, we got Ian Rappaport breaking down some news and a lot of other NFL stuff to chit chat about. We'll see you in 3. Big. Hey, we're announcing something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. Today's a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. Whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. Stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are in currently. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. Growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and then he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything. What could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in club. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that will just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there.
Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about.
Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool.
All right, Narati, like the Indy. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. It is finally officially Super Bowl week. Monday, February 7th, 2022. Hour 2 begins right now. Yeah. Shout to Kirk Herbstreit that joined us in the first hour from the side of the road, then in the highway, then from a dead zone. And all that in between was an incredible conversation about the NIL, college football, the NFL, and A.J. Hawk trying to kill him when A.J. Hawk was a 14-year-old at Centerville High School. A.J. Hawk will no longer be joining us today because he is now getting on the road to come here, to hop on the plane, to head to L.A., in which we will be live from the convention center Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No fans allowed, obviously. We knew that. Shit.
Right.
I found that out last night. Zito actually copy and pasted. He said, hey, here's the schedule for when fans are allowed in the convention center. Monday, no fans. Tuesday, no fans. Wednesday, no fans. Thursday, fans. 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Our show's over at 1 p.m. That's a 2-hour problem there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Friday, same exact setup, so we have zero chance of having any fans. So quick thinking, what do? Oh, we have to have a Thursday special after hours, 4 p.m. local, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll stream live. Big surprise guests, big giveaways, and hopefully enjoy the entire season that was. 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern this Thursday. Extra stream, live stream. Saturday night, we have something going on that's going to be pretty big. I don't even know if we're allowed to announce it. Is anybody? We have to announce it at some point. Somebody has to announce it. I'm sure there's a lot of big time brains that are figuring that out on the backside. I mean, FanDuel's having a pretty sweet thing on Saturday night.
Should be getting promoted.
Are we allowed to? I don't know if we're allowed to.
I have no clue.
Maybe they want you to wait until your boot's on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Saturday night's going to be something big.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to be promoting this days ago.
Yeah, 10 days. 10 days ago. We're being hired as hosts for a FanDuel production.
Yes.
Saturday. Sounds awesome.
Sounds incredible.
Can't wait.
Sounds amazing. Behind the scenes, sounds like there's been a lot of conversations going on that we are not privy to.
Right.
And there's been a lot of chaos potentially. It's going to be big. It's going to be live on our YouTube, I believe.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be live on this YouTube. We are going to be hosting, but nothing else is in our control.
Hired guns.
Cannot wait to see how it goes. We're going to be having a good time. I promise you that. But that should be on Saturday. So Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have a stream. Saturday, I believe we're going to have a stream Saturday evening. And then Sunday, we'll be streaming live from the office throughout the entire game because I think I'm betting $100,000 on the game.
Whoa.
I think so, yeah. I'm probably going to go $40,000 on the coin toss.
Need revenge.
Because last year I
Need
lost
revenge.
30 on the Tails head situation.
Right.
Have you thought about what side you're going to pick now?
Tails, yeah. I'm on Tails.
Yep.
Okay.
$40,000 on tails before that game even starts.
Okay.
Then we're going to have, I believe, a risk-free same-game parlay.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, in that risk-free, I don't think it's just $10. It might be $10 for some gamblers, but it's a sliding scale depending upon how much you often gamble. They have an algorithm back there that keeps you within your limits, keeps you safe with regulators, but they also read you. We're going to have a risk-free same-game parlay that's going to get promoted. I'm coming off a 2-0 on championship weekend on same-game parlays.
Yeah.
Had the AFC in the Pro Bowl. Obviously, everybody predicted that. We predicted the over to hit as well. It said it was going to be 80-something in that. I'm a little bit hot right now, and I assume that the same-game parlay that we're going to put together, whenever I assume we're all not on cloud 55 this week to put out there is going to be risk-free, and we're also going to be doing a lot of live betting and live parlays because it's the last time we get a chance to bet on a sport that we actually know and love and care.
Can you put a bet that's hit 18 out of the last 20 years in the same game parlay?
What are you talking about, the kickoff? Touchback? No touchback?
Plus 120 right now on FanDuel Sports.
So here's a fascinating thing. Matt Gay's not hitting a touchback.
No, because he's maybe hurt, coming up short on 50 yarders.
And 47 yarders. So then whenever you look at McPherson's a dog, though. McPherson has a big leg. The thing about the kickoff touchback thing, and I think I don't want to say I'm the one that brought this to everybody's attention, but I do feel like I am potentially the person that brought this to a lot of gamblers, strictly because there's not a lot of people that kick off Super Bowls. I just so happen to be one of them my rookie year. You get a brand new ball that is going directly to Canton immediately after you kick off. So to break this down, how different that is, normally there's like 7 NFL game balls for kickers. They're called K balls. There's 7 of them. The equipment managers from each team and an official get to go into a room before the game, and they get 30 minutes to break in said 7 balls that were fresh out of the box. This all came to be because there was a game way back in the day. I believe it was Mitch Berger. I'm not 100% sure. That might be hearsay. He used to put the football into like a dryer and put some water in there, and these balls would become balloons. Somehow in a big important game, playoff game, one of these K balls that these old kickers used to just abuse and get beat up, and obviously the more beat up a football gets, the bigger the sweet spot gets, the softer the ball gets so you can break into it and dent it. So you want the ball broken in to kick it far, and some kick, abuse leads to restriction. So a quarterback got one of these K balls, and it was a watermelon, and they threw a pick, and the game ended, and there was quite a situation in the offseason about these goddamn K balls. These kickers are fucking up our balls. They have to be 2 separate balls. So then K balls came into existence, and they were brand new out of the box. So guys got brand new K balls, and they had to kick them in the game. This is it. The kickers were punished for like a good 2, 3, 4 years, and then finally the kickers, I don't know how many years that was. Finally, the kickers were like, you can't do it. We're kicking bricks whenever you do that. So then they were agreed to a 30-minute time limit before the game in which equipment managers can go in under the guise of or under the guidance of an NFL official, and they can break in the balls, they can both okay them, then they can number them, and then it goes into the game. Normally, only the first 3 balls get used, and that is where all the focus of the equipment managers is for that particular game. So balls 4, 5, 6, and 7 barely touched. There has been stories of K-ball guys putting in ball 7 for somebody in a big-time kick because the ball is brand new, basically, could potentially fuck them over. Now, karma will obviously come back to get you, but normally it's just the first 3 balls that make it into rotation. Those balls are all beat up. Those balls are good balls. Those balls fly. Those balls are good balls. And those equipment managers that do the breaking in, they get great Christmas gifts. Okay, they get taken care of, high fives, how you doing, big hugs, love, everything like that. The kickoff ball for the Super Bowl is brand new, fresh out of a box, put onto the tee, then immediately after kicking it, it is put on a box or back in a box, sent to Canton to be displayed as the kickoff of Super Bowl, whatever the fuck it is. So naturally, that ball is not going to fly as far as a broken in ball. That ball is rock hard. That ball is a actual showcase ball that they're planning on putting in Canton. So normally, your kickoff at the Super Bowl is going to be, the opening kickoff at the Super Bowl is going to be the weakest kick of the year for every, let alone the nerves, anxiety. There's 200 million people watching you. Yeah. There's flash balls. I almost missed the ball because I was actually, oh shit, oh my God, here we go. So it's a whole thing. Normally, there's no touchback on a kickoff though. And you have to get, I think it's a plus 115 right now for no. I'm not 100%.
Plus 120 is what I got this morning.
Plus 120. It's going to move after what I just said, obviously. But that is a pretty safe bet that no touchbacks coming on the opening kick.
I was looking at some stats this weekend. Matt Gay is 72% at home with touchbacks, so who knows? He's 54% on the road. And then McPherson, 52% at home, obviously in Cincinnati, 66% on the road.
Yeah. I mean, and on the road, he's in Pittsburgh, he's in Baltimore, he's in Cleveland. I mean, they're difficult, but the ball is going to be, that is a good bet.
Ball.
This is a good bet for this week with McPherson and Matt Gay. Go ahead and stamp it. We should hammer that thing.
Okay.
I wonder if we could put that in a same game parlay.
Yeah, or is that a special?
Well, that would if it didn't go our way,
That'd be a tough.
that would
Pretty quick.
kill the same game.
All right,
last year.
Here's the risk-free same. Yeah, because when we're crafting these risk-free same-game parlays, they have to be attainable throughout the final whistle.
Correct,
Right.
yes.
Which is why we had to sit at that Jets-Colts game
Exactly.
on Thursday Night Football all the way till the end because we needed Pittman to get 3 more yards or 6 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that could have happened on any play.
He had it in the fourth quarter, like 5 minutes
Tripped
left.
up, and then Carson missed him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what we got going on Super Bowl week. 4 o'clock local, 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday. Saturday night, there'll be a stream. Sunday during the Super Bowl, there'll be a stream. Overreaction Monday will happen. Another big surprise guest coming into this office for Overreaction Monday. And then we're going to be off after that for a week. All right.
Should be a good little run.
Yeah,
Hell
here
yeah.
we go.
It's a busy run. Busy run. Plus, there's numerous meetings I have to, maybe, I don't know. So it's going to be busy out in LA. I can't thank everybody for following along. We got a lot of big-time guests, a lot of good conversation all leading up to the big game. Some big breaking news this weekend. A lot of things have happened. Mike McDaniels, run coordinator and assistant offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers alongside Kyle Shanahan. Once a member of that Washington football team's, Washington Commanders coaching staff alongside McVay, LaFleur, Shanahan. Mike McDaniels also in there. 4 really good. We assume McDaniels will be a really good head coach, all in one coaching staff of a franchise that was literally burning to a pulp at the time. Congrats to Mike McDaniels getting the Dolphins gig. There's a lot of stats that go out there that say whenever this guy's around, the quarterback has his absolute best year. He's also known to be a wizard in the run game. Went to Yale, absolute genius and hysterical human being. Obviously, we've seen some of his pressers and some of his clips from those. Those will happen daily now, which I think we're all excited about. Young offense with Tua and some weapons. What do you think happens with Mike McDaniels? Are you excited about the hire at Bubba Gumpino representing all of the Doll fam?
I am very excited. I think this is exactly what Tua needs. Get an O-line, spend everything on an offensive line. They're keeping the DC, keeping everybody on defense. Give Tua a shot.
Mike McDaniels is a run guy. I think anything that's good for a quarterback, and I forget who put the tweet up, but like Matt Ryan's first year with Mike McDaniels there was his best year. Jimmy G with Mike McDaniels, his best year. They're assuming the same is going to happen to Tua, and I believe if you put the 2 and 2 together of what he does for the offense and the quarterback benefiting from it, the best thing for a quarterback is an incredible run game because then they have to pack the box. You get more one-on-ones on the outside and a different look at everything. We'll see what goes on with Miami. What if this year they do finish, higher than the Patriots in the division?
They could.
Like sportsbooks had them just a year ago.
Yeah.
It could happen. I'm excited for old Mike McDaniels.
I see a lot of people excited for Waddle, maybe using him the same way they use Debo. The hire is nice because it could be, it could be a reach, but it's exciting. This guy could be an offensive genius, just like Shanahan was, just like McVay was. It's better. I think it's better than hiring some guy who's had like his 4th head coaching job and it's never worked out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get cycled through the head coaching process, and that is going to be spotlighted for however many months or years this whole thing continues to go with Brian Flores. But I think Mike McDaniels, you can't judge the head coaching hire right now. Let's give it a year or 2.
Yeah, at least.
And then let's see how it goes. Maybe 3. Zach Taylor was 2 and 20 or 4 and 20 at one point in his young coaching career. Then they get Joey B healthy. They bring in Jamar Chase. They keep going over to the University of Cincinnati indoor practice facility, build grit, practicing next to a concrete plant on a daily basis, inhaling that shit.
Yeah. Jesus.
They're doing a big jump over there in China.
Yeah.
And they said it was an old steel mill that was shut down. I seen no less than 7, I think, stacks for
Fumes.
in the one shot, and they just stamped like Beijing 2020 on it. And I'm like, what are they inhaling over there? They're literally they're just flying. This is electrifying.
Oh yeah, possibly the best.
Hey, if this is on TV, you need to watch it. Also, that 15-year-old from Russia figure skating. If you got daughters that are currently figure skating that are in between the ages of 10 in 20.
Take him out.
Shut it down.
Yep.
They got it. Russia's got the girl. What's her name?
Camilla
Vasavia.
Yep.
Vasavia. Camilla Vasavia. Whatever the case. Mike McDaniel's head coach in Miami. Good luck down there. We're pulling for him.
Good luck.
Now it appears as if the Texans are zeroing in on Lovie Smith, former Chicago Bears head coach, former University of Illinois head coach. He was the defensive coordinator for this Houston Texans team that amidst all the bullshit was able to win some games. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Lovie Smith probably going to be the head coach for the Houston Texans. Pep Hamilton, who was the quarterback coach or offense coordinator last year, he'll probably stick around if this is the case as well. So Brian Flores, still not a head coach anywhere. The Saints have to make their hire. Who knows what they're going to do? But it does appear Lovie Smith, a man who we did not even expect to maybe be back in the head coaching talks, is going to be the head coach for the Houston Texans.
And doesn't it seem interesting? I mean, anytime a coach gets hired, Rap Sheet said in for 2022. Like he was just going to be another lame duck for 1 year. Like typically when a guy gets a head coaching job, it's not just like he'll be the head coach for next year. It's like, hey, this guy is the head coach for whether it's a 4 or 5, a 6 year deal. Like he's almost insinuating like, yeah, they're just going to run it back, have Lovie Smith do a 1 year gigging, and then if they're not any good, maybe fire him and try to find another guy.
To your point, Mike McDaniel signed a 4-year deal. That was a part of the announcement, basically, with the Miami Dolphins. Lovie Smith, this is the same way Coach Dave started.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Coach David Culley, who is the former head coach of the Houston Texans, that will never get talked about his head coaching experience, mostly because the 1 year of him being a head coach was the same year Urban Meyer was a head coach for 1 year. Coach Dave Culley got those boys to win some games when nobody expected them to be able to win some games. Chewed his tongue to an oblivion.
Oh, yeah. Like a gum.
But as he got this head coaching job for the first time in his entire coaching career, as an older gentleman, been around a long time, a lot of people had a lot of respect for him. It was immediately announced that Josh McCown is going to be a quarterback coach, and he's probably the next head coach, actually. And it was like, well, what does that even mean? And why would Coach Dave Culley want this guy who's going to be his next, who's going to just take him out? Why would he want him in the off? He didn't.
Right.
Who knows if Josh McCown's ever going to be the next head coach for the Houston Texans, which is what everybody has kind of said is going to happen. But Lovie Smith has won games.
Yeah. Went to a Super Bowl.
Lovie Smith wins games as a head coach, has a lot of respect. He can build up a coaching staff alongside Pep Hamilton that is very impressive. What if the Texans are able to figure this whole thing out? That would be wild.
They got a quarterback, and I'm just hoping that Lovie doesn't shave his beard because he thinks he's a head coach. He's got to have a clean-shaved face.
So you're talking about Davis Mills.
Oh, yeah.
They also have Deshaun Watson, in which they can maybe get some multiple picks or something. If everything off the field gets settled, obviously, that would have to happen before anything. But them getting multiple picks, being able to flip this thing around quick.
Yeah, immediately.
It could be. I mean, good on Houston. And Lovie Smith, I think, is a calming force in there as well. He's been around the building. He understands what everybody else have. Nick Caseria, the GM, I guess he's on a headset on a day-to-day.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. He's out there coaching and everything.
Yep. He wasn't doing that in New England. I know that.
Well, Jack Easterby was just praying for people in New England. Now he's got the right hand of the owner down there making decisions. So, I mean, a lot of people seem to be leaving New England, doing different things down in Houston. Bill O'Brien was lead counsel, head coach, offense coordinator, general manager, and a PR guy whenever he was coaching at the Texans. So who knows? It seems like they're probably set up for failure, but Lovie Smith is a guy who's had success and he gets the job down there.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Jim Caldwell, because his name was pretty hot in the beginning and then he kind of fell off a little bit. Like, do you think he'll possibly get an OC job? Maybe New England, depending on Bill O'Brien and Adam Gase.
Is Jim Caldwell's name linked to the New England Patriots?
He hasn't been linked, but their OC job is out there, and I know Gase and Bill O'Brien are the only two currently that have been connected.
Joining us now is maybe a man who knows what the hell's going on around the NFL. He was just on TV.
Wow.
What?
Just on TV, yeah.
The television?
He's always on television. He arrived in LA last night, decided to immediately get boozed up.
Yeah.
Classic.
Shout out to Cha-Cha, he said, with a whole...
This guy. Blue margarita.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
What's up?
Oh, you look good.
Wow. Yeah, let's go.
Where's that at, SoFi?
I'm currently in the VO booth at NFL Network. So if you saw on TV, which thanks for watching, you probably saw a really cool background. It's actually green in real life.
Oh!
April tour. That's Summer, our makeup artist.
Hi, Summer. How you doing? Yeah, you did great. You did great with this face right here, Summer. Honestly, you crushed it.
You know, it's hard to perfect perfection.
Summer.
No, that actually is.
Maybe Schrags.
Jeez Louise.
What's
You
up,
looked
guys?
unbelievable today.
You did.
There's no reason for that. We're watching Good Morning Football live from SoFi. That entire setup looks amazing. We're happy you're out there. Can't wait to see you in real life. Hopefully this week you'll make your way out to the Peasants over there at Radio Row.
Yeah.
I will try. No guarantees. My time is obviously real valuable, but I will try to kind of make my way over there and do my TV stuff from the convention center and maybe talk to you guys too.
Well, and if it means anything, we will have booze there for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Just to draw you in.
Okay, well, let's go.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Super Bowl week, the biggest week. There's going to be a lot of news to break, and the first thing you post is, great to be here. Let me get this 4 fingers deep of blue margarita immediately upon landing here. I mean, what are we doing, Rap? Are we working?
No, it was, first of all, it was a long flight. Second of all, there was a lot of things happening. All right. So, and there's nothing wrong with a blue, whatever that was. The food was great, by the way. La Cha 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 was the restaurant. Really an excellent recommendation. I had a nice dinner.
All right, well, we're thankful you're out there. We're excited to see what you do this week. Let's talk about some of the coaching hirings and some of the coaches that are still out there. Mike McDaniels ends up in Miami. Feels like everybody thought that was going to happen, and it finally came to official fruition this past weekend. Or what was the waiting? Was it negotiation? Was it contract? Was it roster control? What do you think's going on behind the scenes there? It took so long to get Mike McDaniels in the door.
I think it was more logistics of making sure that everyone who needed to be in the building, like owner Stephen Ross, for instance, was there. Just, we all sort of are revolving around football because that's what we do. But when it comes to owners, sometimes they have other businesses, for instance. So I think it was just a matter of getting everyone in the same building. I do think that he was probably the guy all along. I talked to a couple of Dolphin sources early on in the process, and nobody wants to give anything away, right? But I could sort of kind of tell the way they were like talking. They were like intrigued by him. Educated. He's quirky. He's kind of funny. He's not maybe like what you would think of as a stereotypical coach, but it's also good to kind of like open your eyes and be like, sometimes coaches can come in different forms. He's not going to be like a rah-rah, like screaming type, more of like a intellectual, let me just lay out what's going to happen type. He is also the guy that Kyle Shanahan has brought with him every single place he's been. So like very valuable. And I also thought it was interesting last week or whenever that was, the Giants hired Brian Daboll. I think the Dolphins could have stepped in and said, you know what, let's just hire this guy. But they didn't, which to me was sort of like, all right, McDaniel's the guy they want.
Okay, perfect. So you're saying there wasn't that much of a gripe for Daboll going to New York from the Miami people, so they probably had their guy all along, and it was Mike McDaniels. Yeah.
I think that's because they, you only really find out what a team wants to do when when it has to happen. It's like negotiations, right? It's like doing a contract. You only find out the best offer when they have to give it. The fact that the Dolphins didn't rush to do something with Daboll meant that Mike McDaniel was their guy.
Okay, let's bounce over to Houston. It feels like you were the one that broke this news. How long had they been cooking up Lovie Smith as a potential head coaching position? And I think the way you worded the tweet, Connor pointed this out. The Texans are moving towards naming Lovie Smith their head coach for 2022. Sources tell Tom Pelissero, Mike Garafolo, and me, no deal is done, but it's headed that way. For 2022, you're just saying that's like a cute way of saying next season, or are you saying this is another, like, if he does well next year, he'll get a longer opportunity to be the head coach of the Texans?
Yeah, I would just say, first of all, it sounds like this will be official probably tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. But
all right, congrats, Lovie.
And look, Lovie Smith is a great guy. He has an amazing beard. I mean, that beard is one of the top beards in the NFL, I think.
Quickly.
Sort of Brett Kiesel-esque, I would say.
Wow.
You don't remember him? He's a player. Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Anyway,
What?
and he took the Bears to the Super Bowl. He was showing promise as a Bucs coach before its tenure kind of got.
Oh, fancy pants.
Oh, over there at SoFi.
To me. And now he's back. And so obviously it didn't start with Lovie Smith. I'm not going to say that. It started with, Brian Flores and Josh McCown and Jonathan Gannon. And as they kind of went through the process, they would consult with Smith and just talk to him. And at some point it was like, well, let's just hire this guy who we like and have respect for and keep Pep Hamilton as OC and kind of move forward like that. The reason I said 2022 in my initial tweet was, and I want to sort of see it when it gets done, but it might end up being a little bit of a shorter term contract, which doesn't mean anything, but he's also in his mid 60s, so kind of we'll see. But I just if it ends up being a shorter contract, I wanted to make sure to say that kind of this is where it stands.
Oh, because you want to be able to, at some point, potentially in the future, grandstand. I said it was only a shorter contract, which I can respect that in the way
that doesn't sound like something I would do.
No, Summer doesn't know that either. She doesn't know that that's something you would do at all. Let's talk about David Culley gets the gig. Josh McCown's the next head coach. Right? That's how. Now Lovie Smith gets the gig. It's not for long. What is that? Is that just how they want to do things? They want to prove things? Like, why do you think that is the case?
I mean, I would say it sounds like there is a chance that Josh McCown is on this staff. So if that's the case, then maybe this is a situation where he comes on staff, he gets the experience that he needs, he leads and helps and kind of gets them where they're going, and then maybe at some point ends up taking over. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but it does seem the door has been open to that possibility because this organization clearly does like whatever Josh McCown has. And like, you've come across McCown? Have you ever met him?
Oh yeah, great hair, obviously smooth talker. They say he's
really
a coach in the room. They say he's a coach type player. I get it.
Right. Like he always has seemed like a coach. Eventually, just had no experience as a coach, which I think is important. So he'll come in, he'll help, he'll get experience, and then we'll see which way it goes.
Sounds like that's a done deal, huh? Did you just break news right there?
I don't think it's a done deal. I would, knowing what I know about the NFL. It's just like we could never predict what's going to happen with COVID in 2 weeks. I could never predict what's going to happen next year in the NFL, but we'll see.
I'll tell you, a lot of people are starting to predict different things about COVID as of late. Yeah. And I hope those people start getting listened to.
Didn't we beat COVID a couple months ago?
I remember. Ian, that's what some people are starting to say. They're starting to say that, and they're not normally the people that would say it either. So I think that has to be a good sign. But you were the one who told us a few weeks ago that hopefully we're not dealing with COVID next season. Yeah. That's who knows what you know. By the way, have you kept your eyes on Denmark, on the mortality rate in Denmark?
Not recently, but again, I've been very busy the last couple of days.
Oh, this guy! What about the world?
Put the bottle down.
Yeah, maybe stop boozing all the time.
I was on a 6-hour flight and watched a movie and 3 shows and didn't have one drink. So there you go.
Bullshit.
How? Why?
I had one. But it was like a quick little mimosa type deal.
To get welcome to first class. Here's a pod. Were you on a pod?
I wasn't a pod yet.
Nuts! You got those warm nuts too. You got a mimosa, some warm nuts in that thing.
It was a nice experience, I have to say.
Half a Zan? How like a love? Lando, wake up in L.A.? No, that was Drake, not you, obviously. That was Drake, not you. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, rap sheet. Eric Bieniemy, 8 hours with the Saints yesterday or Saturday. Is that who they're going to go with, or are they interviewing other people this week?
They are done interviewing. I was actually kind of struck by how long the interview was, too. And, it's like with Eric Bieniemy, he's such a curiosity because he's interviewed for so many jobs. He hasn't got one, and everyone's sort of like, why hasn't he gotten one? And I honestly, I don't know. Like, I can't pretend to know. It could be a lot of things. But, like, if he is a bad interview, then, like, what are they doing for 8 hours? Like, if he's a bad interview, then maybe you cut it off at, like, 4 hours. That means, to me, at least, there was something compelling with Eric Bieniemy and the Saints. Now,
what does that mean, bad interview? You just don't get along with the person? What is a bad...
I honestly have no idea. Like, maybe you can't communicate your vision. As he hasn't gotten jobs, I've asked a lot of people, like, what is it? And it's like everyone has all sorts of different answers, but none of them make any sense to me. So I honestly don't know. I mean, again, like, if he was bad, is he just like, can he not communicate what his team's supposed to look like? I'm like, okay, well, also, like, watch the tape. His offense is very good. Patrick Mahomes is pretty good. He's the coordinator, so I don't know. But I've always thought Dennis Allen was sort of the heir apparent there, but we'll see if something has changed now that his 9-hour interview was done.
As somebody that has never been through an interview except for one time at Aeropostale in high school, that did not go well.
Did you get it? No.
No, I didn't want the job, and I told him that. I was forced to be here. I was dropped off by my parents. Damn. I got hurt, so they were going to make me do something. And I ended up working at Rudy Subs and Pizza, 286. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Nice.
2-week stint, but then, I've never done the interview. I always wonder, like, what could that interview be like? And how could one go bad? You're just not good at talking to somebody. You're not answering the questions properly that they want.
I mean, I guess if there have been problems and, like, I'm not sure how many problems the Chiefs have had, honestly, but if there have been problems, maybe you get defensive or you can't articulate it. Or I have no idea.
I'm not saying about Bieniemy. I'm not talking about Bieniemy, by the way. I'm talking about as a whole. Whenever people say, like, it's.
I mean, these guys do this for a living, and when you talk to someone who is like so entrenched in this, they can speak the language and they could just do it forever. Like I could probably talk about dorky reporting stuff forever. So if like I was interviewed on this, like how long do you need? But so I mean, I don't know. Maybe they run out of answers. Like I would like at some point to really sit in on one of these interviews just so I get a real understanding for like what it would mean to be good or bad. But I assume that will never happen.
I'm sure they'll let you in there, especially with how boozed up you get all the time.
Wow.
Loose lips sinking ships. It's like rackboard in here. I mean, geez, Louise. Go ahead, Ty.
Rap sheet. How did the Rich Bisaccia going to the Packers come about? I think most Packers fans, when they saw the report that he was interested, thought it was just bullshit. And then he was interviewing with the Bears and he had the head coaching interview with the Jaguars. How did that come to be?
This has kind of been in the works for a couple of days, and he did have some opportunities. I mean, he was a real candidate in Jacksonville. I'm not going to say I thought he was going to get it, but I know that they really considered him. And it's interesting because like the Packers, I think obviously they needed a little bit better special teams. He is a very good one. He also is, besides being a great guy, he's a really good leader. And I think some maybe of the reason why the Packers hired him was like, we want this human in the building. Like he apparently gives great speeches. Again, something I would probably never listen to, but gives great speeches, very dynamic. Players love him. The reaction from the Vegas players when they realized he wouldn't be their head coach was like, I think they're excited about Josh McDaniels, but like they like this guy. They were for Rich Bisaccia. So he'll bring the special team stuff to the Packers, but I think he'll bring himself too, which is probably just as important.
I don't know Josh McDaniels as a human, never met him. But I assume he and Richie Bisaccia are going to have a different level of how's your family.
Yeah, but Josh is still a good guy.
We don't know. He turned his plane around.
Fair.
So I don't know if he's a good guy. He's also, I heard a story on I Am Athlete or The Pivot. I forget which one. I Am Athlete, I think. I Am Athlete about how we was cheating. We was cheating. We were filming other people's stuff, and then we started losing. So I don't know if the apple falls too far from the tree up there in New England. What? And I would assume the players are like, we had this guy who would cuss us out at practice, but also write us handwritten letters. Yeah. And then we make it to the playoffs against all the odds. Now we got the evil empire coming in here. Oh, yeah. How's your family? I don't give a fuck. Okay, watch film. All right, that's right. Hey, they'll win. They'll win. They always seem to win. Raiders.
And to his own credit, Josh McDaniels addressed this at the press conference, basically saying like, and people in the Broncos will attest this, when he was in Denver, he was not good enough with people. So I think he has really worked on this. And
people get better at that type of stuff.
That's right. He's grown.
Yeah, especially when you go back to New England, which is known to be a big-time people culture.
Well, he was at the Rams for a year.
I didn't know that.
Wasn't he? I think he was. Wasn't he OC at the Rams?
When?
Right. That seems right.
In 2011, maybe? I think
he had a year after he was fired where he was not with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because OB was there.
Really?
OC for the Rams, yeah.
Because OB was there. That's
Who was
exactly
the coach? Right. Who was the coach for the Rams?
Jeff Fisher, probably.
Jeff Fisher, super player coach, super people. A lot of handshakes, good mustaches, all that
stuff.
stuff.
Isn't he a coach now of something?
Michigan Panthers.
USFL.
Yeah, the XFL.
Look out.
Coming to Fox.
It was Spagnola.
What's that?
It was Spagnola.
Stevie Spags.
Oh,
That probably helped him, right? Spags probably helped him out with humans.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what was that 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Growing a lot.
Spags, great guy.
Yeah, so, hey, Josh McDaniels, 11 years, growing, obviously.
There you go.
Him and Mac Jones seem to get along. Mac Jones won the Pro Bowl yesterday. Is there any thought to maybe changing that whole thing, or who controls that, the networks or the NFL?
The NFL does. The fact that so many people watch it is like,
it's not
it's
good
football
watch.
and people love football, but like, I don't know. Like, I watch some of it every year, but it is certainly something.
It's embarrassing. It's tough to put out on film, and I don't blame the guys, by the way. I don't blame the players at all. There's a lot on the line for them in the future and in this particular offseason, professionally and personally. But, man, them rolling that ball out there and that product out there, I don't think is good for the game, good for the league.
I think the skills competition was cool.
Bingo! That's what, now, granted,
like
the way they covered it, we can pick apart everything. We can pick apart everything. But I do enjoy the speed, the race, the dodgeball, the this, the that. Let's put bigger prizes on that. Let's go to a warm climate, too. Maybe a definite warm climate. And let's make that the entire celebration of players in their season. Because unlike every other All-Star game that happens in the middle of seasons, this isn't a marketing winning for the rest of the season. This is just like kind of a celebration of our season. So
and kind of like a build up to the Super Bowl kind of deal, I think.
well, it's quite every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. I don't think that's a good thing for the Super Bowl. What happened with Kamara?
Doesn't sound good. I actually was reading through the police report before I was talking to you guys. I've done this long enough where I know that just because the police say it in the report does not necessarily mean that is exactly what happened. Done this too many times. But what they are alleging is Kamara and his friends were at a club. Someone was trying to get on the elevator. Kamara put his hand on him. The man pushed it off, and then they beat him very badly. He's got a court hearing at 1:30 today, Vegas time, charged with assault resulting in bodily harm. It sounds not good, but again, we still have to know a lot before we decide what happens, but on its face, it seems very bad for Kamara.
Yeah, but there's cameras on everything, right, out there?
Yeah, and actually, hold on. I was actually looking through this stuff here. The police kind of, I don't know if you can see this, they kind of go through, they match tattoos and people's hands and, what tattoos Kamara allegedly has and where his, so they kind of go through it and have, extensive surveillance.
Damn. When was this, after the game, before the game?
It was before the game, but he was arrested after the game.
Oh, so it's like whenever guys or girls have a performance somewhere and the cops show up at the concert and they're like, yeah, you can do the show, but immediately afterwards, you're coming to jail.
Based on the police statement, they tracked him down, and I'm like, okay, well, he played in the game and was probably in the locker room, so it's not that hard to find. But
did he get arrested out of the locker room?
No, it wasn't at the locker room. It was after. But he was on TV playing. It's not like he was hard to find.
Had a couple good catches too.
Yeah, he did.
Man, that's a shame. Hope everybody figures that out. That's sad to hear about. But Las Vegas having a Pro Bowl there. I understand it's awesome city and everything like that. But boy, I hope everybody's okay. Go ahead, Tone.
Ian, in a very Gen Z gamer type FaZe Clan move, Kyler Murray deleted all the Arizona Cardinals stuff from his Instagram.
What's FaZe Clan taking shots?
This gamer generation, dude. Does that mean he's gonna be playing baseball or strictly FaZe Clan for the rest of his career? Is he done with the Cardinals?
I would not say he's done with the Cardinals. I need to investigate more as far as why he deleted all his social media. It feels like every time we do this, it either means a lot or absolutely nothing.
Well, thanks.
So I really need to find out which one of these things it is. I don't know why he would be upset with the Cardinals. Cliff is his guy. Obviously, they're moving forward with him. I don't think he's playing baseball, though. If he did, he'd probably be very good at it. He's a great athlete. I will do more digging for you guys as far as the social media situation and Kyler Murray.
Okay, we appreciate you doing that. Thank you for going through the entire police report that has photos and zoom-ins.
Yeah.
That happened in, 24 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
They were dialed in on this
fucking
thing.
around.
Hope the guy's okay. Severe bodily damage is what it said?
A fractured orbital bone.
Ooh.
Yeah, bad.
Eye socket. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, no. And he's alleging that he just tried to get on an elevator?
That is how the police kind of pieced it together based on interviews with him and a couple other people who were present and the surveillance camera.
Golly. I always assumed that something had to have happened, but all the cameras on it will obviously tell the entire story. It's a shame that this is what's coming out of the Pro Bowl, but we got Super Bowl week. Hope everybody's okay. Let's look ahead. We will chat with you later this week. We can't thank you enough for joining us from that green room back there, Bow.
All right. Always fun, guys. I'm going to go back to staring at myself on four different monitors.
Hey, that place is much nicer than Culver City, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty swanky. Maybe you can come visit. I'll tour you around. I don't know where anything is, though, but I'll tour you around anyway.
Oh, me and the boys?
No.
Bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport. Hey.
Prick.
What's that all about?
I don't know. He's a sack of
What the hell
wine.
is that?
I get it.
I kind of respected it.
I think there's actually an option to go tour SoFi. We've been getting emails from media credential people.
Really?
You can go tour SoFi. We might sign up for that. But anytime you sign up for one of those little tours or adventures, you're really on somebody else's time.
That's right.
Exactly.
And you only get a chance. What if I want to go look at something for a little bit longer? Well, the cruise ship is leaving.
Yeah, not a chance.
So you need to get on or get off, pal. And they will keep everybody corralled too, by the way. We got another one of these coming through in about 5-10 minutes. We don't need you dicking around. All right?
keep
Get your
moving.
fucking ass in the group. So maybe we won't do it. but I've heard that place is gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Looks very nice.
Okay, so Mike McDaniels was the guy all along. Lovie Smith was mentor to the decision-making process, becomes head coach, Urban Meyer, Shad Khan.
Yes.
Classic situation.
Not that Urban Meyer has anywhere near the coaching credentials in the NFL that Lovie Smith does, but if you do recall, whenever they were going through their coaching hiring process, Shad Khan was calling Urban Meyer, asking him for his thoughts on different people, and Urban finally said, hey, why don't you fucking just give me a couple million, build up a city, and let me fly home away from the team and everything. I'll be the guy.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? I'm not saying Lovie Smith did the same thing, but he was supposed to be somebody that was guiding them, and then immediately they were like, we can't fucking find anybody that can do it. Why don't you do it? This is just like Full Metal Jacket with the drill sergeant.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's his name? Drill sergeant?
God.
Lee.
R.L. Ermey.
Yeah.
That's his real name. I don't know. I can't think of what it is in the
Hey,
movie.
great pull right there.
Thank you.
Great pull right there. He was supposed to come teach somebody how to be a drill sergeant. They said, why don't you? We can't find anybody better. Why don't you just do it? So, long line of this type of situation happening. Some work out great, like in that movie. Some work out terrible, like Urban Meyer at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully, Lovie Smith finds success down there because old Dougie Davis Mills deserves it. And the Houston Texans organization seems to be a dumpster fire, and they got some stability there.
General Sergeant Hartman.
Yeah, Gunny Hartman.
Lovey better watch his back.
If Josh McCown's in the building?
We know McCown is an Easterby guy, and Easterby's just got to be licking his chops, waiting for Lovey to screw
So
up.
do we know that, or is that off air? We have conversations, and then it's kind of made its way on to
we know that.
I think it's
Easterby has baptized Josh McCown.
Yeah, and Josh McCown is all in as well.
McCown is a noted recovering porn addict as well,
Jesus.
so assume Easterby probably helped guide him through those waters.
That's
possible.
Real. That's not. That's
Seems
real.
like a lot of people get on that thing. The whole,
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Anyone who finds Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to talk about Orlovsky too.
what?
Remember they had to keep him on a.
There's no reason for this. Let's get to a break. 42 minutes in. That's unbelievable.
What?
There's no reason for these ricochet shots to everybody trying to better their life.
No.
I will say that porn addiction thing, though, that was very fascinating. I learned about that through a lot of other people's testimonies or whatever. I was just hoping everybody's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you guys all right? Take it easy on yourself.
Yeah. Good luck out there.
Lord. Do something else. Go for a
Put
walk.
the phone down.
Yeah. Get a dog. Jesus Christ.
I don't know, but they're probably taking a stand in which their world, they probably understand it. We do not. That's on us. We are too immature and all that. But Josh McCown does have a tie to Jack Easterby, we believe, in the religious world.
Bingo.
So then everybody's assuming that is why Josh McCown might be coming in there with Easterby. But if he becomes an assistant coach, like Ian Rappaport's reporting, maybe he doesn't even want to become a head coach or knows that it's not for him. Or he gets in there and shines.
Yeah.
We have no clue how any of these coaches will do. We just got to hope for the best for all parties involved, and then we will judge it accordingly later. How will Doug Peterson do in Jacksonville? That team stinks.
Yeah. Excited for that.
How will that go? Whoever gets hired for the Saints, they're $71 million over the cap. The cap is higher than it's ever been and only going up, and they're somehow remaining.
Something dripping.
We got a burst or
There's just soot falling on my head.
good Lord.
Someone stomping on the roof up there.
Get off the roof, dude.
Come
You
on, Santa.
remember that day they were jumping on our
Oh,
show?
yeah.
And then it was our fault for saying, hey, can you get the fuck off of our roof?
Got a job to do. Sorry.
Sorry, we got to do that right now. All right, well, can you walk lighter?
My
I
God.
feel like somebody just did it. I got a bunch of soot all over my goddamn.
Jesus.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. Answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. Are the coaches doomed from the start in some places? Probably.
Yes. 100%.
How do they flip it around? You find a dude, a couple of them, that can make it happen. Joey Burrow was that dude in Cincinnati. Will you be able to do that in other places? Hopefully. Will Tua become a full-blown guy with Mike McDaniels leading that offense? It seems as if success has followed that Yale man everywhere he's gone. Will it continue in Miami, even though a lot of the Miami fans say we're destined for suck no matter what? Down in Houston, is there any chance of that team being good? 20% of their salary cap is trying to get out of there, but nobody says is it going to move. Who will trade for that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody.
Especially not us. Phone calls on the other side and more on this beautiful. It is officially Super Bowl week, Monday, February 7th, 2022. See you in 4 minutes. I hate a lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just, because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing. How are you not going to hold a grudge to everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? That's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's a legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not like. How do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself. And that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to, in a healthy way, love yourself and respect yourself and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings. But look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said. And I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed. And I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control. And there's going to be people that don't like you and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game, and have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
Think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not.
They should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. We have announced the winners from each of the giveaways we did last week with SeatGeek to the big game. The Monday winner, which was hashtag thank you FanDuel. No, SeatGeek. Hashtag PMS thank you SeatGeek at Chris Akerley.
All right.
That includes airfare and hotel. And then on Wednesday, we followed it up with another giveaway, hashtag PMS big game with SeatGeek. Congrats at Beach Boy 210. That one does not include airfare and hotel. Sorry about it. Gonna have to get yourself there.
Sorry, Beach Boy.
But that's awesome. You get to enjoy the big game. Shout out to our friends at SeatGeek. And hopefully you have a little time out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It isn't too late to get yourself to SoFi this particular Sunday for the big game. Use the link in the description on our YouTube to get $500 off your tickets to the big game. I don't know what the ticket prices are doing. Normally, Super Bowl week, they are volatile.
Yeah.
It'll go up, it'll go down, it'll go up, it'll go down. Inevitably, you're going to have to buy it in time to make your trip to SoFi, so you're going to make those decisions. Save $500 right now on big game tickets when you use the link in the description right here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Thank you, SeatGeek.
Thank you, SeatGeek.
Let's hit some phone calls here on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. Let's go to Matthew in Jacksonville. What's going on, Matthew?
Hey, Pat, boys, how's it going?
It's going.
It's going.
All right, so I was reading about a study that magic mushrooms actually help with neurogenesis and cure CTE. Kerry Rhodes was part of a study about it, and I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about it.
Matthew, thank you for the question. Love hallucinogens. All right. Absolutely love them. Only when it's legal. Obviously,
That's
where
right.
it's
Right.
illegal. I have an entire story about trying mushrooms a few times in college and potentially more times in college.
Sure.
And it allowed me. Now, I don't recommend it for anybody that's in a bad mood or thinking poorly of themselves, because any of these hallucinogens, including magic mushrooms, will make you 10x whatever you're feeling in your brain. So if you're a little nervous or anxious and you take mushrooms, let's assume you're going to have a trip in which that is only amplified. I've always and only taken them whenever I'm in a good mood. I've had great times. I mean, I have had magical times. I don't recommend it for everybody, though. I think it is something you have to experience yourself with your friends and make those decisions. With that being said, there is a little bit of a sense that you open up bigger parts of your brain and have a little clearer thought, not just with magic mushrooms, but I know there's a whole DMT conversation and other hallucinogens that do that. There's an ayahuasca thing that happens down in some countries in Central America, I believe, that can tap into deeper existences in your brain, because you only use 20% of your brain or something.
That's right.
So if that is a study that is happening for CTE, I appreciate the fact that either scientists or the NFL are looking into other ways to combat pain, injuries, and further damage.
Well, and that goes into the cannabinoid research, correct?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Starting to dabble into, a little bit more natural remedies that have been around for a long time and have helped a lot of people. But it was painted as something terrible because maybe people that didn't represent what America was about or supposed to be about kind of made it their drug of choice.
Goddamn hippies.
Bingo. The hippies painted the picture of marijuana being the worst drug of all time to all the old whites that are in power right now. And first impressions do die hard.
It's not 1965 anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we only get a chance to enjoy those vitamins when we're in legal states. We obviously
have to.
It won't happen in Indiana for
Never.
Ever.
probably, because of what's right down the street here.
Yeah.
Come on, Rainwater.
Let's go to Joey in Indianapolis. What's going on, Joey?
What's up, Pat?
Hey, what's up, Joey? What do you want to talk about, dude?
First off, I just wanted to say thank you. I was a DoorDasher for you one time during the pandemic, and you actually gave me my biggest tip ever, you and your wife. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for that.
Oh, Joey.
And if you get a personal DoorDash, let me know, okay?
Hey, Joey, I appreciate that. I don't think you're supposed to be telling people, but I do appreciate that a lot. And no worries. I appreciate what you did for my wife and I and to everybody else as a DoorDasher, because you're changing the game out there. Joey, what do you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about what you think the possibility of if maybe Rodgers goes back to Green Bay or retires. Do you think Russell Wilson may be interested in coming to Indianapolis?
That's an interesting question, Joey, and a lot of people have been bringing that up. And I guess Jim Irsay did like a tweet that was potentially mentioning either Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or some other quarterback in play for this Indianapolis Colts squad. I'm not sure what Jim Irsay is doing, but I know he's not just going to be sitting around.
No.
I don't think if you caught the tone of Chris Ballard's press conference or Frank Reich's press conference, I assume that is a trickle-down effect from what Jim Irsay has been saying about, I've invested a lot of money in a lot of people. Paid Darius, paid Quentin, going to have to pay Jonathan Taylor, got T.Y. another contract. He's invested. DeForest Buckner, I think, got
Ryan
paid.
Kelly.
Ryan Kelly. He's
Lewinsky.
invested a lot of money in this team. He's not going to be cool with just not making the playoffs and nothing happening. Carson Wentz is here. We don't have a number one pick. Who knows how that works or if it matters, because there's always future ones. But Russell Wilson and Sierra would have to say, we're cool with going to Indianapolis, and I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen. I hope so. Good team. Good ball club.
Yeah.
Great team with Russell Wilson. Now, Ryan Clark was on Get Up.
Is anyone going to even
was-
want him?
Uh-oh.
Ryan Clark basically said this morning that he fucking stinks. 3 separate times. So, I mean, does any team even want Russ if he's available?
I'm going to say this. A lot of Seattle Seahawks fans attack Ian Rappaport for saying things like Russell Wilson might be on the move, and I'm in those mentions as well. They come after me as well. I get attacked for what Ian Rappaport says from what he's hearing about Russell Wilson. Kind of just part of being on the show, I guess, at this point. It's cool, but Seattle Seahawks fans are not happy with anybody saying Russell might be on the move. Now, Team 3 is going to want to listen and hear things. Russell and Sierra deciding where they want to go. I'm not sure Indianapolis is going to be a spot, but I do not believe what Ryan Clark believes. I believe Russell Wilson's very good at football. Immediately makes the team much better. Ryan Clark, much higher football IQ than I do, though. Has won a lot more in football than I have. I would assume that there's more people that feel the same way he does, but I'm not one of them.
What about Jimmy G?
Well, Jimmy G could be on the move. Aaron Rodgers could be on the move. Russell Wilson could be on the move. Jimmy G's definitely on the move, I guess.
Yeah.
Hour 3 is on the other side of the 6-minute break. We'll see you then. Fucking screws, dude.
Yep. Let's go.
Nailed it.
Jimmy, I think, would be perfect for Indianapolis.
Yeah,
honestly.
we got Jonathan Taylor. Just give him the ball.
Yeah.
Listen, you know that 6 attempt game you have? We're looking to duplicate that.
All the time.
Every single fucking game. Carson was checking out of runs. You don't do that, Jimmy.
No.
You know what's good for the team? Would love to pay him, what, $20-some million to do that?
Yeah.
Another 15 to Carson, $35 million to a quarterback, 6 attempts. I mean, let's go.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
with it. That is what we need to do. Or just get a young quarterback that just hands the ball off.
True.
But
That works as well.
still got to pay Carson. He's still in the
And
squad.
Carl goes up to Green Bay, and
That's never going to happen.
No, that's a good trade.
Carl for Rodgers.
Well, who else you sending? Darius Leonard and
no,
First
Quentin
pick.
Nelson?
By the way, pick 6, first play of Pro Bowl. Darius Leonard.
pretty good.
That's what we do in the postseason.
That's right.
That's what the Colts do in the postseason, score touchdowns.
Yeah, they're
Didn't
built
get a
for
chance to see it in the real postseason, but I mean, Pro Bowl for sure.
Yeah, they looked awesome out there. All 7 of them.
A lot of rest.
Hey, there was 0.
They did have fresh legs.
Oh, listen, Cam Hayward was up there fucking holding bodies next to DeForest Buckner.
That was big. That was a tall D line standing there.
Yeah, and Kyler Murray had 0 chance.
What's going on?
What?
I mean, you didn't like the way I phrased the question, but Kyler, what do you think about?
That was interesting. But the way you phrased the question was as if you were burying an entire generation.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, I know you were, but you don't need to do that. I don't think that has to happen. You know, just because they're a little bit different than you doesn't mean you need to judge them all. But I mean, Kyler scrubbing all of his Arizona Cardinal references and photos from his Instagram is interesting, but I think he also scrubbed every other post as well. I don't know why or how. Maybe he's just restarting this entire thing, but maybe Kyler's not happy with Arizona. Maybe he feels like we should have won a little bit more. I know as a bettor on the Arizona Cardinals, I wish they would have won a little bit more as well.
I think he's just a moody guy.
Whoa.
I think he is. Just like some days, like, fuck it. I don't want to do this. And some
he has
days
the
he's
ability
like,
to do that, by the way, because he's a professional gamer, could be a professional baseball player, and a
Right.
professional football player.
right.
Julio did it for the Falcons, and he had a couple more years before he actually got traded.
Yeah, he did it like 2 or 3 different times. And then got loud, and then, I'm out of there, live on.
Yeah, Shannon
Yeah.
Sharp screwed him.
Got him out of there, though.
Insane.
That's true.
I guess he got loud, let the whole world know.
Falcons were not happy about that.
Speaking of Julio Jones, the Tennessee Titans have come out and said, we are not getting Aaron Rodgers. Ryan Tannehill is our quarterback. Now, they're saying that until maybe Aaron Rodgers could be that quarterback. I don't know. I don't know them personally. I've not asked that question. But the general manager, John Robinson, came out and said, Ryan Tannehill is our quarterback. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. I don't care if Peyton fucking Manning is buying property in that, which, by the way, he probably already has.
Yeah,
sure.
he definitely does.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Tennessee guy.
I don't care if Tom Brady is buying property in that, probably does.
Probably does.
I don't care if Aaron Rodgers has property in Nashville. He does.
Definitely does.
Just did.
That was a big time story there for a little bit.
Huge.
As it should be, I guess. That's what the offseason looks like. I'm not fucking ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Vrabel was killing it for the AFC team yesterday.
Yeah, he chose not to punt, though. So
That was a little messed up.
that was. AJ Cole, one of the best lines of all time.
Yeah.
I'm handing out Gatorades and high fives. All right, I love that. Passing out Gatorades and high fives. And he said my halftime stat line is one of the best of all time. 0 punts, 3 holds, 2 hot dogs. Not bad.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
good move.
They should have kept him on the mic the entire time. Just give him the microphone. Keep that thing rolling. Congrats to AJ Cole, by the way.
Yeah, congrats.
AJ Cole and Mac Jones won the Pro Bowl.
They did. And Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan crushed as well.
What about Herbert?
Herbert did well.
MVP.
Yeah.
MVP.
Max Crosby.
Did you like the
showed out?
I thought 4th and 15 after he scores the MVP of the Pro Bowl.
That was terrible, right? I mean, that was very, very bad.
Yeah, it didn't work for anybody.
A lot of people wanted that for the new thing. Hey, keep your state fair bullshit out of here.
Bingo.
And I love state fairs. I love carnivals. I love circuses. Circi?
Circuses.
Circi?
I think that might work.
Circi.
Plural of circus.
Circuses.
Circuses. It's plural.
Is it?
Yeah.
How come
Yes.
fungus is?
Fungi.
Fungi. That's a great point.
Is it circi?
It says the plural of circus is circuses, not circi.
Circuses with an apostrophe at the end?
What's the English language all about?
No,
It's messed up.
CIRCUSES.
It is very tough.
Yeah. French language, too.
Anyways, keep the state fair bullshit out of the game.
Right.
Okay? Whenever they moved the extra point to the 33, it was still weird to look at. It was still weird to do. It looked like it was a long ball at the Pro Bowl. We're all getting used to it because I guess it is now the new norm. But let's not do all this other gimmicky bullshit.
Don't need it.
Don't need it.
It's football.
4th and 15 was beloved by a lot of people, by the way. It's going to be awesome.
The Chiefs.
Get the football players out there and get to play for it. Yeah, and I don't know how it'll work in a regular game. I assume the Chiefs would just, or Chiefs or the Bengals,
Bills,
Rams, Colts, obviously
Patriots.
known for 15-yard plays. Colts, big time on that. Just keep that shit out. But I do like the fact that they tested in the Pro Bowl. It's the only thing that's really good for them.
If you remember, I was against it because it would also ruin gambling.
Yeah, because you have no idea what's going to happen.
No idea.
See, AFC scored a pick 6 and then they had the ball back, and I was like, how'd that happen? What happened here? How's this whole thing go? That's not football.
No.
It's gimmick.
It's also very anti-kicker, so maybe that's why I'm taking a stand here.
Yeah.
Hour 3's on the other side of this. We're going to take some more phone calls. We're going to break down everything that's going on. Let's look alive out there.
Here we go.
Here we go now.
Let's look alive. Let's look alive out there. We'll see you in about 45 seconds for hour 3 before we hop on a bird and fly to LA for the rest of the week.
Hell yeah.
Let's have a goddamn Monday, February 7th, 2022.
Hell yeah.
See you in 35 seconds.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this. It's officially Super Bowl week Monday, February 7th, 2022. Shall begin right now. Yeah. Boys here at the talking table at Ty Schmidt at Boston Connie. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys at Tone Diggs is here. Boys in the back, appreciate you. AJ Hawk is on the road heading this way so we can hop on a bird and fly to La La Land, the city of stars, the Angels, Hollywood. How you doing? Keep it moving. Might not be anywhere near what we thought it was going to be, but let's have a good time.
Hell yeah.
Let's remember that although we promoted for weeks, that fans will be able to come see us live from the convention center in LA. One of the main reasons we were going out there was to see people and be in front of an audience. There is no fans allowed in the convention center Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday during the times that we are live. Okay. Only on Thursday and Friday from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., which makes no sense at all for a Radio Row to have live fans at that time. So we will go live Thursday, 4 p.m. local, 7 p.m. Eastern. Big surprise, big show. It'll be an extra after hours in which we'll give away stuff and have a good time, hopefully in front of some people that watch this show on a daily basis. We'll be also live on Saturday night. FanDuel has a massive event going on. Ooh. We get to play host to that. Cannot wait for that thing to be a part of it. And we'll stream live during the Super Bowl because it's the last chance we get a chance to gamble on a sport that we know and understand, and hopefully we take FanDuel for every dollar that they have.
Hell yeah. We're gonna. You remember that one last year you put together.
I hit a $25,000 parlay last year.
That was only $500.
Yeah.
Think about if, you know.
So I'm putting 40 grand on the coin toss.
Yep.
I'm putting about 10 grand on the risk-free same game parlay that we're going to be able to put together. I don't think all 10,000 will be a risk-free for me.
Sure.
But that is what I'm going to do. And then there's another 50 grand I'm going to be doing in live bets. I hope people watch alongside of us for the Super Bowl. And I'll be taking all types of information on bets and such from the boys.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Now, we'll be getting back at like 6 a.m. Sunday morning after we head out from L.A. on Saturday night. But we'll have a lot of energy and juice wrapping up this Longest and biggest NFL season of all time.
Oh, yeah.
No, can't wait. And Monday.
Oh, yeah. I was watching Monday.
Yeah.
Huge surprise guest.
Should be easy going right into the stream, too, after you hit the coin toss, and then boom, you're already up 40K, and it's like, all right, now let's enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah.
There's no way you lose 2 in a row.
No way.
No way. Can't happen.
It's a lot. I'm putting 10 grand more on it, actually, than I did last year, because if you lose last year, you're going to win this year.
That's the way it works.
You know which side you're going to?
Tails.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Tails.
And you say you're live betting 50 grand, but once you get that 40 grand back, plus the, 39 grand that you're going to win from the bet, there's a chance you live bet $120,000.
Which means there's a chance we win.
Millions.
You could win.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You win $50 million on Sunday.
The last game. 50 million. Think about that.
Oh, my God. We could.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That could happen.
Yeah.
That's what the big game's all about.
Big game.
That's what the big game is all about. There is some news. Mike McDaniel's hired as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He's from the San Francisco 49ers. Congrats to him.
Hey, baby
Lovie
Mike.
Smith, the new head coach of the Houston Texans. That'll be announced within the next 24 hours. Congrats to Lovie Smith.
Baby Lovie.
Gus Bradley has been hired as the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. And although we covered Mike McDaniels already today and we covered Lovie Smith today, we have not talked about Gus Bradley being the new defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. This is, I assume, a highly sought-after job for the defensive minds around the NFL. Eberflus goes and becomes the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Who's going to take over this defense that is absolutely dominant and not to be blamed for the colossal collapse? Nope. The colossal collapse
That was pretty cool.
down in Clontown. Yeah. Oh, colossal collapse in Clontown was nowhere near on the defensive side of the ball's fault at all. Eberflus leaves. There's a bunch of dogs. There's a lot of contracts, and there's a great defense that flies around and is ready to work that was looking for a new coordinator. Gus Bradley, former head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, former defensive coordinator. Last stop was at the Rams.
Raiders.
Now he is stopping by the Indianapolis Colts. I got a chance to meet this guy pregame warm-up when he was a head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Always super nice. All of his players loved him. I assume this is going to be a match made in heaven here in Indianapolis. Congrats, Gus, and welcome to Indy.
Hey, baby Gus.
Is he with the Rams? Chargers. He was in L.A.
He was with the Raiders last season, the Chargers before that.
Everybody loves him, from what I've been told.
And he was the Seahawks DB coordinator, I think, with like the Legion of Boom, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's beloved by everybody. And I think this defense for the Colts is a good one.
Yeah.
They got absolute dogs. Not just, DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard and Kenny Moore, but you look around that entire defense. They got guys. Now they're just going to need to continue to fly around and hope the offensive side holds up their end of the bargain. That'd be great. But welcome to Indy, Gus.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that the Colts are truly a quarterback away from being legitimate contenders. Like, that's probably the best defense that any job, right, for this entire offseason, for anybody. You have studs at every single level, and if they can just get a guy that can just do that 25 to 40 times a game, then
and not check out of it.
Check out of it.
When those rumors were starting to circulate around Indianapolis, I'll tell you what, Carson Wentz run from welcome to the city to full heel.
Yeah.
Whenever there was rumors, and we don't know if it's true or not, by the way. So I think the Colts should maybe get ahead of that and say Carson wasn't checking out of runs so that he could throw the ball and get into a rhythm. But everybody in Indy knows that the guy in the backfield's a guy. Yeah. Everybody in Indy knows that the offensive line, even though they did not show up in Clontown, the offensive line did not have a great performance in Clontown. That's where it goes through. And if the defense can continue to be great, that'd be very, very, very good news. Other news around the NFL, Rich Bisaccia, now the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. All right. The man who went from being Italian-American special teams coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders to head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders in the middle of a lot of controversy. It guided them to the playoffs, wrote handwritten letters to every player, had every single player and staff member in Las Vegas come out and say, we love this man. He had an interview for a head coaching job, I believe, in Jacksonville or New Orleans. I'm not 100% sure. Was able to lead a group of men in beautiful fashion. He is now heading back to his special teams coordinator position in a team that is desperately in need of some good special teams play, the Green Bay Packers. You got to love having another head coach on the roster over there, Ty.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't pretend to know know the intricacies of his X's and O's and like how good of a in-game coach he is special teams wise. But you coach in the NFL for that long, everyone's talked about how well respected he is. And LaFleur's a great coach, but he's still a young guy. So having kind of like an elder statesman in there to maybe help like bring him along a little bit. What's not to love about it?
If you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter.
Well,
That's right.
absolutely. Anytime we're talking about the Packers, I am operating under the assumption that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. Because you're right. If he's not there, then it doesn't fucking matter.
You can have great special teams.
Yeah.
If you don't have anybody that can move the ball or an offense that works, it does not matter in the NFL.
Jordo can play.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
What's up, A-Rod and J-Lo over there?
Yeah, exactly. They got, Aaron Jones and Devontae still, if Devontae.
Kurt Benkert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he is damn good at Madden, too. That cannot get lost in this.
He's stud.
Yeah. He can play.
He's a professional gamer, right? Kurt
Yeah.
Benkert.
Yeah,
Streamer. Stud.
Very good.
Glue guy in the locker room, I believe.
Yep. His first year there, but he was a glue guy.
He can punt as well. The guy can bomb and punt.
Think about that.
Great quarterback. Maybe he'll be in competition for the starting role if Aaron Rodgers goes to Cleveland because he was in Ohio this weekend hanging out with some random woman.
Yeah, he's not going to Cleveland, but
Wow.
hey, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he does. I doubt it, but maybe he does.
Congrats on the Packers having to pay a special teams coordinator as well. Are they going to invest in special teams? As opposed to the way that they set up their roster construction where it's really high end and then everybody that you need on special teams is basically in and out within the week or within the 2 weeks. Does that change with a new guy at the helm? Maybe we shall see.
Yeah, we'll see, although I doubt it. They typically don't do that.
Well,
so.
there's a couple different roster constructors around the NFL in which they spend all their money at the top and they just expect the special teams to be good. You get a good kicker, you get a good punter. Normally you can get through that entire thing. But in Lambeau, you can't expect perfection from Bojo or Crosby, and you're going to have to cover a kick at some point. And when everybody else has people getting paid to cover kicks and you have people just surviving to cover kicks, it's a much different game, but it has come back to bite the Packers in the ass numerous different times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if that was just like hey, listen, we can't just kind of do the same thing we've been doing for the last 10 to 15 years where it's like they hire a guy, okay, he comes in, there's a little fanfare. The special teams is horrible. They fire the guy, and they've just kind of been doing that on repeat for 12 to 15 years, it seems like. So, hey, maybe, you get a guy who is a guy, has done it for a really long time. Maybe they're finally addressing it and realizing, hey, we can't let special teams be the demise of this team anymore.
And I don't know if Bisaccia is over there doing any kicking clinics, but A.J. Cole, Pro Bowler, and Carlson hit a bunch of game winners. So maybe Mason and Bojo have their best seasons yet with Bisaccia around. How's your family? How's your punts? They're going to need to be good or we're going to run you the fuck out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd think it can't get worse.
It was bad.
No,
dude.
terrible. And I think a lot of people were saying there's a good chance that you have a new punter, new kicker, new snapper next year anyway.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Mason, probably okay.
Well, they're saying he could be a cap casualty.
Yeah, with McPherson's success, wouldn't you maybe zero in on somebody during the draft?
So you go do the research.
Oh, I mean, I'm not doing.
Go do the numbers and the stats. The grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
You get a new snapper, new punter. That might be a completely different Mason. Mason might be done as well, or take a little bit of a restructured contract because he understands the situation there.
Could get a situation with the kicker the Patriots drafted.
Yeah, Rohrwasser, who is still working for it, and they actually brought in Nordine last year. I believe Rohrwasser is currently a very successful.
There's a lot of
real
kickers
estate
that don't
agent.
pan out.
Yeah.
A lot of kickers.
I mean, Aguayo was a second-round pick.
There's a lot of kickers that don't pan out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get McPherson as a stud, but if you can find a kicker with McPherson's mindset, you should draft him immediately. I'm not sure you're going to find too many aliens like McPherson coming through the draft in the next few years.
Do you think the San Diego State dude who did all three?
Riza.
Yeah, do you think he'll do all three in the NFL too?
No.
Just punt, right?
Yeah, he'll punt, I think.
Okay.
Maybe kick off. Punt and kick off. Maybe he'll kick. I don't know. He is a different animal. That guy has a massive leg. I think he'll definitely punt. Jordan Stott out of Penn State. He'll be a punter in the league too. He hit a 75-yard ball in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
That isn't easy in the Senior Bowl either. I think those balls are relatively brand new. I think there's a lot of punters that are coming in. I don't know about the kicking world.
Yeah.
McPherson, though, everybody kind of tagged for a long time, like, hey, this guy's a guy. This guy's a guy. Hopefully there'll be more, but I don't know how often a McPherson comes around that you need to draft. With that being said, you move on from Mason, you might be looking for a while.
Yeah, for
Happened
sure.
with the Steelers.
Yeah.
When Sweezum got hurt on a tackle in the Hall of Fame game, they brought in a bunch of kickers. Had Scobie in there at one point.
Yep. He did not perform well there.
Well, that happens. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I wonder why. Has he ever talked about it? Scobie's like one of our friends. I don't know if he's ever talked about why he thinks it didn't work in Pittsburgh.
No, they got lucky with Boss.
Yeah, and then Boz came along out of Rice and just tore it up. The kicking department is, I mean, that is.
Yeah.
You might as well just do one of these. Oh, I guess it's going to fucking work.
I mean, Patriots had 2 guys for 20 years, and then they've basically been, testing Folk damn near every week against somebody, and he's delivered. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah, the folklore is awesome. He's older as well. It doesn't have as big a ball. You guys are going to have to move on at some point. You might have to hit the carousel, but hopefully new kickers will come through in big ways. Who's that baseball prospect that I saw kick a 50-yarder this weekend? Number 1 prospect in the world.
I saw you tweeted. I did not know his name.
Yeah, I didn't know his name either. Jet Passon texted me about him, said, hey, this guy hits bombs. Like, he is an absolute stud. Yeah, he kicked a 50-yard field goal. Had a little stutter step, a little bit longer approach and all that. I responded to him. I let him know that we have no idea when your league's coming back. There's a chance your league never comes back. Maybe put the bat down, keep kicking the balls. Hit from 50. I assume you can work on a little bit of the dial-in technique. Don't know if you're going to make it ever, but at least you know that what you're working towards is a league that does exist, unlike the MLB.
Bobby Witt Jr., I believe.
Hey, Bobby Witt Jr. hits bombs and kicks bombs.
Hell of a name.
And Bobby, I appreciate what you did kicking that 50-yard field goal, pal. You looked very good. A lot of people are going to come after you for, there not being any rush and you taking forever. Hey, are you going to book 11 people to run in your face? That's not on you, Bobby. But what I will say, your league's probably dead. So USFL, XFL, AFL, CFL, MFL, NFL. I mean, there's a lot of this.
Something to consider.
Something to think about Bobby Witt Jr. The pay is going to be drastically less
Yeah.
than hitting bombs in the MLB. But the good thing about it, MLB doesn't exist.
True.
So you're going to get paid actually more than what you'd make in a league that doesn't exist, kicking balls and maybe the XCFL, the MCFL, the entire thing. Just something to think about Bobby Witt Jr. In other sports that we don't know much about, but we should talk about, Jordan Spieth almost died this weekend.
Oh, my God.
I love Jordan Spieth says, hey, I'm going to go get that Gator's head,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He got your eye or he got your arms. I'm going to go get his entire head like Happy Gilmore did for old Chubbs. The fact that he danced with this 70-foot cliff to hit a shot, a golf shot, just one slip, one sneeze, one slip. We see a dead Jordan Spieth live from a helicopter aerial cam. He obviously hits it, makes good contact, survives. We appreciate you for putting your life in danger to make a good time shot or a big time shot. But his left foot is sitting on grass that probably within the next 5 years is going to wither away at any given moment. We appreciate you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks for your sacrifice, Jordan. Jordan was willing to die for that pro-am.
Yeah, he ran backwards pretty quickly after that shot.
Smart. And I assume he had a lot of weight on his back foot as opposed to his front foot. But I was just thinking, there's been times where you're standing on like the edge of a sand trap or something like that, and you just turn a little bit, and then who's going to catch you?
Nobody.
Unless you got great core. I don't know. My palms started sweating whenever they were zooming in. I was actually watching it live, and I started like getting uncomfortable, like palm sweating. And then he hits the shot, and he goes, "Get down!" He's like watching the shot. I'm like, Jordan, get the fuck away from that cliff. Who cares where that ball goes? Did it go down the cliff? No. Did you die? No. Get your ass back and walk around that thing, pal.
Well, and I couldn't tell at first when I was looking at it. I was like, is that dirt or is that just like the face of a cliff where, if he falls down and it's dirt, maybe his cleats get stuck and he doesn't tumble all the way down. But if that is an actual cliff, you're right. He's dead immediately.
Dead.
It was almost like a bizarro world. I was like, they're not really showing this on TV. Like they have no idea. There's a good chance that he does slip and fall down this thing.
So I watch, those talent shows and somebody does some death-defying stunt. I'm like, they're not going to die because they're on TV. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course.
To your point, watching him do it, I'm like, he's no fucking cliff expert, this guy.
No.
Is he reading the land to see if it's going to give out from underneath him? No, he's fucking Jordan Spieth. Why is this It must have been safer in real life than what we are imagining.
No, his caddy told him, do not hit this shot. His caddy was against it.
Jordan said, listen, I ain't no bitch, dude.
Michael,
shut up. You want to go back to teaching math?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jordan, dude.
Thank you, Jordan.
I mean, real ballers would have got it on the green, but at least you didn't die.
He finished second place. Yeah. So
man.
It was close.
Maybe you hit that shot a little better, Jordan. To win the game.
Figure it out.
Bill Murray, the no-look burial.
That was pretty cool.
Classic.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. He had a couple great moments this weekend.
I feel like that's what Bill does, right?
Yeah,
He
he
shows
does.
up at everything and just has a couple great moments.
Pretty much.
That's like his thing.
Yeah, he's been golfing since Caddyshack.
And I saw Josh Allen throw the club down. I don't need this club. I'm going to throw this thing not only over the tree. They were acting as if he threw that on the fucking green. It was like 75 yards away.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I don't know what happened to the rest of that ball, but I was just watching the shot, where he's doing his little warm-up thing, puts it down and throws it. I'm like, oh, he threw it up over the tree, and then people are like, go. I'm like,
thought he made it.
He threw this to the green.
Yeah.
That was a haul. Like, he had to throw that thing. Like, it looked like 50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
Not as easy to throw a little tiny golf ball as far, by the way.
Elbows.
Yeah, because the amount of whip you got to get on
Throw it
that.
out.
He got over the tree, though, and then he did walk off, so they are playing it like it lies there.
That's right.
The throw counts. Throw goes, dude. That was amazing. That was great arm talent by Josh Allen.
It was a pretty good tournament this weekend.
It was. It had some moments. It was tough to watch that because, the Olympics were on.
Sure.
Exactly.
And the Pro Bowl Super Skills Showdown and the NHL All-Star Game. The festivities were happening. And we're staring down the offseason right now. We got a chance to dabble in it this past weekend. Not fantastic.
No.
I got the chance to watch some documentaries and some shows.
Nice.
Okay.
Pretty excited about that.
Anything of note?
So I tried the Tinder swindler. He's just like, what, a billionaire catfish who's an asshole?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I got from it as well.
Did not make it all the way through. It was very bored. Let's get to it. They were doing a lot of lead up, and I feel like I kind of caught the entire thing. That guy's an asshole.
Documentary?
It is a documentary called The Tinder Swindler.
Was that? It was 2 hours long.
And they didn't get to it. It seemed like I tried for the first 20, and they weren't even into it yet. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to read the Cliff Notes version of what happened and act like I watched it. Fucked up, obviously, anytime anybody catfishes anybody. The internet has let their jokes fly, though. The internet has let their jokes fly about what people are willing to do to potentially date a very, very, very rich person, which is also a downside of that whole thing. The Puppet Master was good. That was about a psychopath over there in England who has been acting like an MI5 agent for like the last 40 years, still on the run doing his thing right now. That was awesome. The After Party with Tiffany Haddish, Dave Franco.
How was it?
I watched the 5 episodes that are available.
Heard it was pretty funny.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. There's a character in there named Anik. He was very funny. Very, very. He's kind of the main character through a lot of it. Had no idea he existed before this show. He was good. Tiffany Haddish as a detective was good. And then I'm bouncing around. I saw 5 episodes. There's a lot of different ways that thing could go.
Okay.
Really?
It is a murder mystery.
10 episodes total, you think?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it. They release one every Friday.
That Anik guy, he's a very funny guy.
Very funny. Yeah, I did not know he existed. Fucking hilarious human being.
He's in Veep. He's very funny in Veep.
Very good delivery. Very, very good delivery. Good show. Good show.
Yeah?
It's an Apple show, so they're putting a lot into it. It'll
Yeah,
probably
Apple
be good.
crushes.
Murderville, you said you watched and enjoyed.
Murderville's pretty good. Great concept. Marshawn Lynch, there's a cameo every episode. Will Arnett's basically the same thing, murder detective. They're trying to get the cameo star to break. They don't have a script, really. Arnett does. It's a very good show. Great
So
concept.
what's the concept again? So Marshawn Lynch goes in there.
Yeah, so
he doesn't know what the show's supposed to do.
No, every episode has a different star as like the guest detective, and Will Arnett is the main detective. They go through and solve a homicide case essentially. And I think the first one's Conan O'Brien. I didn't watch that one. I went right to Marshawn episode 2. There's a few other stars littered throughout. It's really good.
Good concept. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. It's good.
And then the Olympics were happening. And, you had skiers taking big-time jumps in the middle of steel mills.
I just saw that picture.
There's like 7. Dude, there's like that. Not that photo. Obviously.
I just sent in a couple. I was like, it's in the middle of a nuclear wasteland.
Bro,
insane.
Each shot has 7 different smokestacks basically coming out of these mills and everything like that. They're like, oh, this is a retired steel mill. I don't think so.
Doubt it.
This is.
Oh, come on.
The bottom one is.
This is from the jump. This is from the bottom of the jump, I think. But there's 4 there. Then there's 2 little ones. And this was not an angle that I've seen. They get a shot from the top, actually, where they're eye to eye with the top of the smokestacks.
Yeah.
The bottom of that picture that he showed is a picture from like a mile away, and you can see just if you zoom in, you can see just the snow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It is very crazy what's going on over there, but our athletes deserve a little bit of love.
That's right.
And I understand everybody is up in arms about the way things are going in the world, and I can appreciate that. And I haven't done enough research, so I don't know, but I'm assuming a lot of people fucked up. Okay, a lot of people are doing fucked up stuff. Our athletes, though, have literally dedicated every day of their lives in an attempt to get to this moment, to get to these games, to compete against the world, not getting paid a damn thing, not knowing if they were going to qualify. And now they have the added pressures of potentially testing positive for something, not feeling any symptoms at all, and missing the event that they had dedicated their entire life for while traveling into a country that everybody's pissed off about, and also eating the same exact meal, I guess, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Standing in tiny little thing. I mean, it's just, I hope the athletes understand that I and we appreciate and respect the amount of effort they have had to give to get to this moment in their life. And we wish that they could all make another Olympics that will maybe get heralded as something awesome for them.
And I just hope that they actually do give us something to cheer about. Because like we said, a lot of these times you're going to these events and guess what? There ain't a fucking American to be found anywhere in them.
What did happen?
Can we get a couple, people in the Stars and Stripes on the podium, for Christ's sake?
Well, there's been a couple Americans that are performing, that are competing for China.
Yeah, can't have that.
Well, it's happening.
Yeah, it's tough. We need to nip that in the bud right now.
There's an 18-year-old girl skier who's being tagged as like the face of the thing. They were saying this girl, she wants to compete with the men in this, and she's best in the world regardless of sex. And I was like, oh, okay, she's very proud of representing China. And then as she was going down, she's from San Francisco and she speaks, she's representing China. I was like, whoa. China's calling her the face of the Winter Olympics.
Not great.
Something, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get the name wrong. I already got the Camelia Vasieva.
Tough to pronounce.
Yeah.
We can't have any Susan Smiths competing for
There isn't
China.
any Susan Smiths. No, her mom is from Beijing. Her dad is from San Francisco, I think.
Okay.
She grew up in California, and she is very good at the ski mogul flip thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No, or maybe the big freestyle skiing. I don't know what she does. She does something where she's very, very, very talented.
Freestyle, half pipe, slope style, and big air.
What's her name?
Either Eileen Gu or Ju.
Gu. Eileen Gu. Eileen Gu.
Okay.
Eileen Gu is it's G-U.
Okay.
I don't know how Tony got that, but Eileen Gu is her name.
I don't know the rules.
She's representing China, but she's very good. She's good at everything, and she's from America. She's not representing America.
Do we not have someone else that's representing America that might beat Eileen?
We do, I assume, but the way they were talking is
Yeah,
hey, Eileen's the.
What's her name?
Michaela Schifrin?
Nope.
Michaela got screwed over in this entire thing too.
did.
They're not able to test these big ass mountains, but she wasn't even allowed to test it out. I assume Michaela, who's the best of all time and is a perfectionist, would like to try out the track before she gets tossed in there for the Olympics.
Yeah, you'd think.
This is a bunch. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Kim.
She's snowboard.
Snowboard, though.
Different event.
Eileen Gu is a skier.
Speaking of, they better let Chloe Kim and Shaun White test the track. They can't be doing that for the borders.
I think they are. I think there's a big thing about practice time and when they can, when they can't. There was an entire mountain shut down for 6-7 hours because of the wind.
Yeah, I can't.
That was happening, and then the COVID restraints on when you're allowed to be there, when you're not allowed to be there. There was Jalen. What was it? Jalen Koff. Jalen Koff, women's moguls silver medalist.
Yeah.
She did an interview afterwards with her family. She had to have the mask on or whatever. Her family was like, "Can we see you smile?" in the Zoom call, and she put it down. Yeah, big pop.
Nice.
But I thought they were potentially going to kick her off TV immediately for even thinking about doing that.
That's a sport you watch and your knees start to hurt.
Bad.
I don't know how they can do that.
Bad. They toss themselves.
It's insane. And their feet are so close to each other.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's how you get judged.
Part of the points.
And in part of the points there, it's 60%, 60% on your style of your jumps or something like that.
Yeah.
20% on your time, and then 20% on something else. The way they break it all down in the judgment, I can get captivated and mesmerized by the moguls pretty quickly because the way they have those pants drawn.
Yeah. So
it's you can kind of see. Yeah, the Aussie came in and broke Jalen Goff's heart there.
She was fine.
The losers too, by the way. There was a time where the losers on their fourth run, I don't know if they didn't get to test it out either. On their fourth run, each person that went became the next gold medalist. So it was this person went, oh, he's in first place. he might medal or whatever. I'm like, might medal? I'm seeing all these people fall off the track or whatever. Next person comes in first place. 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 The USA guy was in first or second at one point late in this entire thing.
Yeah.
He ended up in like 8th or 9th because the way everybody just kind of came.
Jesus.
And congrats to Germany winning the men's luge for the first time.
Did the Jamaican bobsled team go yet?
I have not seen the bobsledders yet. I don't think they've started. Luge looks simple.
Just lay it down and let the
I'm gonna get attacked by the luge community, but as somebody that grew up in a hilly town with a lot of snow, I feel like I've been sledding a long time.
Yeah.
That looks like the only thing I got is a bad body build, so I don't know if I can look down. You know, I don't know if I can see.
Well, skeleton maybe.
Past the skeleton, I'm not in on. The head first thing, that seems to be a little bit sketchy there.
Yeah.
But the luge, they got little pricks on the fingers, and they do the thing, and then they put the hands inside the sled. Is that steering in the thing?
I think so.
Or is it their legs that are doing
both, maybe.
Because I think my body's too fat to maybe see past it. But that looked like the luge looked like a good time. In the United States, until our guy came in like second and then got run off the podium quickly at the end there, we were having bad performances. Bad.
Ooh. Can't have it.
And I was like, yeah, there's nobody fucking slide down hills. What are we even doing here? I guess it's probably more difficult than I'm giving it credit for, but that looked like that'd be a pretty good time.
Oh no.
That luge is tough.
See, not as tough as this.
Jeez
Louise.
Was the luge the one a couple years ago in the Winter Olympics where they had the live footage of the guy dying in the time trials? That could be why not a lot of people are doing the luge.
Yeah, and I guess you can't get launched off of the track because in a luge there's no tracks.
Right. No.
So I guess in the skeleton, which is the head first one, and the bobsled, there's tracks, I guess, that you can try to get in. The luge, they're up around the whole thing.
Yeah, that was scary.
Maybe I don't want to do that.
No.
I
Bobsled,
don't want
though.
this thing spilling all over me either.
If you do want to do something, I can tell you the next Winter Olympics is probably going to be one of the greatest Winter Olympics of all time.
Where's it at?
It's in Milan, Italy. Heard of it?
Nice.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, I'm from
Hey, you're by there.
Calabria. Not Calabria.
It's not Calabria.
Well, when I was growing up, that's the way we always called it.
Yeah.
There was some scumbag in the Canadian media saying that women's hockey should not be an Olympic sport.
I disagree completely. I watched them beat the fuck out of Switzerland.
Yeah. Well, that's why her argument was that Canada and the U.S. are too good, and the rest of the country stink, and they shouldn't make it an event anymore.
Oh, I love that. That's just like whenever teams that win 90-5, the team that scores 90 is punished, and not the fucking losers that scored 5.
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
Listen, I understand there's sportsmanship and camaraderie, but do we not get the equal amount of time to prepare and get good? And are they keeping score or not? Are we breaking the rules, or are we just playing by the rules and you guys stink at it? I understand that there is sportsmanship, okay? And there's growth and all that, but those motherfuckers that scored 5, they can quit at any time, right? They can tap out and say this thing's over. I don't think we're making it past 7 points, the coach can say, and let's go ahead and get out of here. I don't like whenever the winners who have worked their asses off to get to the position there and automatically get buried for it. It's like, how is that their fault? How is this their fault? The United States women's hockey team, electrifying to watch.
Yeah.
Big time hits. As soon as I turned it on the other day, one of our ladies was getting taken out from behind, and then all of a sudden into the sin bin they go, and we did capitalize.
Of course.
We did
Right.
capitalize.
Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, they do play Canada.
Oh,
8
baby.
p.m.
we go.
Pacific.
I'll be a real shame that media lady has to watch the boo-hoo come out of the fucking Canadian
tomorrow?
Army.
Oh, no, wait, that's tonight.
Tomorrow.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Is it local
Tuesday
or
in
here?
Beijing, 11:10 p.m. Eastern Monday.
Oh, so that is tonight.
Tonight at 8 p.m.
So I
Local
think we'll be
time.
able to make it.
Yeah.
Don't forget Penguins Bruins at 4 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, lads.
Ooh, you guys are so screwed. Holy shit.
Catching us at a bad
Sports
time.
on at 4 p.m.
Well, it's over there in L.A.
Yeah. Starts at 7.
Stupid.
Listen, we are East Coast babies,
Mm-hmm.
and we currently are still in the East Coast time frame, and East Coast bias does live.
It does.
And we don't like it. We apologize. We wish we could stay up all hours of the night and care.
Can't.
But we're going to experience what life is like watching matinees
Can't
for
wait.
primetime games.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then what do you do afterwards? Just go to bed?
I don't know.
Throw
Read
on a
book.
show.
Yeah, you get all cushed up.
Yeah, and then go to bed.
There it is.
So I feel like I'll probably be that.
All day.
The whole time.
Well, that's fair.
I was like on the Bussin' with the Boys episode. Will said, I can't believe I got you on here and you're high or whatever. It was like, wouldn't have been on here if I wasn't. What are we even talking about? Tennessee legal state, obviously. Man.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out
Indiana,
Tennessee.
only do it in the states where it's legal or whatever. We got to get to a break. Hour 3 here is really going by great. Talking a lot of Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife, by the way, being forced to watch a lot of these sports that, she probably doesn't appreciate watching, but every once in a while you get a good performance. Like there was an American couple last night that did a free skate thing for the team.
Brendan. Oh, I forget
something in chalk. Or chalk and whatever. No flying. No. There was no.
No throws.
No pageantry.
No throws. No, there was a lot of pageantry.
Yeah.
She was an alien. He was an astronaut.
Oh, wow.
He was chasing her around space.
Telling a story.
On the ice, and they were doing a whole twisty loopy thing, but there was no throwing. So I feel like that did capture our attention because we were just waiting for the throw to happen. And then when it ended, there was no throw. It's like, what are we watching here? And then we get educated and learned up real quick that no, this is a performance piece as opposed to a technical flying piece. Whatever the case, it happens every 4 years. We got to pay attention.
To your point, you said it earlier in the week. It is nice now with the figure skating that they have the live scoring on there, so you can know actually what the hell's going on. But then it is also very depressing when you see the U.S. go, and then, for instance, the Chinese squad's going, and lo and behold, they're on their second trick, and they already got about 10 more points than us, and they're just blowing us out of the water.
It is an active scoring, but then that thing can get caught up.
True.
So I've seen that thing actually be 3-4 moves behind, and the thing comes to an end, and we're down 40 or 30, and then all of a sudden they give the final score, and it's much closer. It's like, what's going on? They're like, oh, that thing's getting a little bit behind on the judging. It's like, well, can you tell us?
Well, then
that?
what the hell is it there for?
Keep it updated.
Well, what you're looking for is from 1 to 4. 4 is the best on the left side.
Yes. Okay.
3, that's the level of difficulty.
Sure.
Then what the max score is, and then what they're getting, and then there's a review process if they didn't land it clean or something like that. We're a big figure skating show. All I know is Nathan Chen's about to do it.
Boom.
And that Russian 15-year-old girl should be the only one in any of these competitions. Nobody else needs to sign up for figure skating in the women's division for the next 20 years or so.
No, play hockey instead.
Yeah.
Smart.
Be smart. Japan is killing the free skate. And at least we weren't that team who almost killed the woman because this dude fell on top of her.
That was Russia?
I forget if it was Russia. They're wearing baby blue.
Yeah, but the costumes don't mean anything.
That's right.
Because that's performance piece.
Yeah. Skiing.
That guy did.
Oh my God. I actually thought someone got seriously hurt.
By the way, it's good that happens because then whenever you watch everybody else, you know that that's possible. Because when nobody follows, it's like, oh, these people stink. And they're flying around, gliding at like 25 miles an hour. Yeah. Could potentially hit that ground. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, also good to know the figure skaters, a lot of grit. So if there are any out there that are thinking about, making that switch, might as well do it now.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of people talking about the Olympics, I guess. Because of everything going on.
Yeah.
It's competition. We got to support our athletes.
Oh, yeah,
it's World's Games.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, they're already getting their money from us watching.
Yeah.
Bingo.
They eat with us watching or not watching. They're already
support the athletes.
Support the athletes.
Come on. They're doing it for us.
Yeah.
It's a big conversation though about what's going on over there, and it is pretty crazy that it's in Beijing.
Yeah, big time.
Going on for about 8 years now. So
no, but I'm saying not just that. There's a lot of other stuff that has happened since all that other thing is. It's crazy that it's over.
Yeah,
I've actually watched going. This is wild with everything that's coming out right now that this is over here.
Yeah.
But once again, Nathan Chen's about to win. Hey,
that's
good
right.
work.
Hey, here we go, Nate.
Hey, baby Nate.
Go get him.
Michaela, hey, let's go, Michaela.
What do you say, Michaela?
Here we go.
Cody Miller.
Hey, what? Yep.
Cody Miller.
Johnny Mosley.
I don't think they're in it. Paulo Antonio is not competing.
He's
What?
not?
No. He's not.
Who's our guy then?
Is Lindsey Vaughn still in it?
I do not believe so. Michaela's the
She's
the skier.
Yeah.
And Chloe's our border. Who the hell is our speed skater?
Sean White. Speed skater.
Apollo's not in it.
We'll learn.
Okay.
We'll learn.
His son, maybe.
We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls, wrapping up the show before we head out to La La Land. I mean, just the competition alone, you should watch.
Yes.
But we're not promoting.
None of the political
For the athletes.
machinations that are going on behind the scenes.
No.
Good word.
Thank you.
What does that word mean?
The going about
Fuckery?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we do not support the fuckery going on.
No.
No, not at all.
But the athletes, we will always support.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Back and forth. Cheers. Now it's time for SmackDown Rumble Championship Weekend. We just had another Super Boost.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Hey, here we go. I need all the wins. Yeah. Gotta get a no call to quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out of the way 'cause I'm coming with hard again. hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You might get knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with us. Hey, my dude.
Squeeze the Bible. Yeah. Softball. Yeah. Wow. That's what I was trying to do. Wow, you can get that. All right, well, see you later. I have a good time.
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Coltrane has gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The road switching through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. Guess what happens when you taking care of your business? But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, you still got a problem. Let them.
Oh, fuck you, Pin.
Cole, that is one of the worst of all time.
The worst pours of all time.
And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows what he's doing right now. And a blue stick.
Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link, obviously good launch, pinky chain. Gold plated Steve Madden's.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go!
It is an honor to see the man.
Once your ratings get this low, then I'll come to Buffalo.
That's why you're a good guy.
A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, great to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a Four Seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope back, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man is announced. I'm buying all of the depends that they have because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight with Bobby Lashley, comes into the Royal Rumble and is an absolute ass-kicking machine. We just had another Super Boost. Back to back. Back to back. What?
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Here on this glorious, it is officially Super Bowl week, Monday, February 7th, 2022. Wrapping up this beautiful show in Indianapolis, Indiana, and hitting the road.
Hitting the road.
California.
Did you see PFT and them drove all the way over there?
Yeah, right through the frickin' storms, too.
It seems like a great time. Honestly, I'm appreciative of them doing that. I got a lot of respect for all those fine gentlemen, but I wonder which day they regretted that. Day 2?
Yeah.
Day 3?
Probably about 18 hours into that thing.
They probably loved it. You know what channel I've been watching lately? The Smithsonian Channel.
Really?
Yeah, I watched that a little bit this weekend as well. They did a whole road tripping in America thing. It would be a good time road tripping, I guess. Not through the snowstorm that just came through, but I guess hitting the road, you really get a chance to experience some stuff. So maybe maybe we wouldn't hate it as much.
Well, I mean, we kind of did it when we went on tour. You know, it was a smaller version of it, but we were driving from Pittsburgh to Cincinnati to back to Columbus, back to here. I mean, that's a little bit smaller.
We did the road to WrestleMania. Zito drove the RV in the MetLife Stadium.
Bingo.
Yeah, that was a good time, by the way.
Could do it for training camp next year.
Oh, hit the training camp on the road.
Hit a couple places.
I actually wouldn't mind doing that. Get a nice bus.
Yeah. Maybe start in Cali.
A lot of meetings this week. I think we'd probably start in Indiana.
I think you rap with Indiana.
I think, well, you're saying road home.
No, yeah, full circle.
No edges, full circle.
Yeah, because life's like a circle.
Well, life is, it's actually like a graph. Life is much like a graph, I think, where, you have to always...
Ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows and just keep going. Life does come full circle sometimes, though, I think.
Yeah,
that's what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard that in The Lion King or something.
I haven't watched that yet. I've only seen the...
live action.
The newest one, yeah.
The Broadway play is unbelievable.
Just like in Hidden Gems.
Uncut Gems?
There it is.
Yep.
Just like in Uncut Gems, it was hard for me to feel bad for Adam Sandler that entire thing because he had enough money to get out of debt like 15 different times in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to continue to feel bad. Like, hey, you could just get out. And I understand it ended terribly. Lion King, that little baby one,
Simba,
a fucking asshole deserved it. He was literally told, hey, do not go to this one place.
Yeah.
And then he just walks his ass right in there. I mean, what do you expect, dude? What do you expect, dude? Like that, I have a big problem with that. It's hard for me to care after that because that kid's a prick.
Yeah,
You know
Scar. Scar was the one. Can't be betraying the family.
Yeah, I understand, but why is Simba even going into this place?
I agree.
The elephant graveyard looked very cool, though.
Kids just need to learn to listen.
Well, especially if it's you're on deck to be the king.
Exactly.
And your dad's the king.
Where's his bodyguard?
Well, my wife got all sad or whatever. I'm like, the fucking asshole. I mean,
Yeah. What's he doing?
let's go to the phones. And then she told me that I didn't understand because I didn't watch the original. The original, much different than this one.
Same thing, pretty much.
It was the
Pretty
same.
thing.
Pumbaa was cool.
How about Aladdin? Is Aladdin the same with Will Smith?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so I see
Well,
that.
Except for-
Similar.
I don't
except for,
know.
like,
Yeah, that was actually pretty good though.
Love it.
That was because I'm a big Aladdin fan and I haven't seen the new Lion King, but the live action Aladdin was fucking good.
The
It
evil
was.
genie's a little more scary in the cartoon one because he gets real big, but
And that's who's the evil genie? Robin?
Yeah, Robin Williams in the original Aladdin crushed.
no, he was the nice genie.
Oh, there was two genies?
You're talking
when
about Jafar.
When Jafar
Yeah.
plays, yeah.
The Sultan.
All right, let's go to the phones.
Soul in the swamp.
Let's go to Emmanuel down in Houston. What's going on, bub?
Hey, what's going on, Pat McAfee?
Hey, just hanging out, Emmanuel. What's going on with you, dude?
Hey, I wanted to get your thoughts on. Hey, is the NFL cyclical? As in, right now it's a spread offense, and when I grew up watching football, it was smash mouth. Will defenses finally catch up to these spread offenses, and will they go back to the smash mouth?
Great question, Emmanuel. And I think just like life, football is cyclical as well. What was once back in the 70s is actually making its way back right now. And although I don't think the NFL is going to take a 50-year cycle to turn this thing back around, you can already see it happening. There's numerous teams that are relying on the run game, the power game, mostly because it's not just defenses getting a hang of the new offenses and the spread offenses, but because defenses have had to employ smaller defenders, linebackers, D linemen that can keep up with the spread offense and the quickness of how much everything's going. And there's been some teams, you've seen them, whether it's the Ravens, the Bills even with Josh Allen. Look at the Titans. Look at the Colts right now who are starting, the Niners. There are teams that have taken advantage of the size differential between the smaller linebackers, smaller D linemen, and the offensive line, fullback, tight end blocking system. So I think you're already starting to see it, Emmanuel. I don't know how long it'll be until everybody's back that way, but as soon as that happens, then it'll bounce back to a quicker style. Everybody's trying to one up the other person. How can they gain an advantage? And I think that's a good read on the football world, Emmanuel in Houston.
That's why it's so huge to have like the Mark Andrews, the George Kittle, because you can have them in there and you're either running it or you just a little dink down to them.
Justin Herbert threw 2 tuds to Mark Andrews.
Andrews, yep.
And I believe George Kittle isn't done scoring touchdowns.
No.
I think he's going to be good.
Juice got one. Juice check.
Yeah, he was dot, by the way. I believe is what that was described as. It's interesting to watch how the NFL changes, though. Patrick Ricard, the fullback for the Baltimore Ravens, former defensive end. Now he's just lead blocking for things. He was in the Pro Bowl as well. It'll happen. It'll be a nice mixed bag. And remember, stationary quarterbacks that are cerebral was out. And then now the Super Bowl is Joe Burrow, who's the youngest, I don't want to say stationary. Obviously, he has the ability to run, but he is a cerebral pocket passer pre-snap, post-snap, able to understand what's going on. And Matthew Stafford, he can move. I understand he can move, but he's more of a pocket passer. The NFL makes no sense, I don't think, but I think you'll continue to see that all evolve, and people will try to take advantage of different situations.
Yeah, with like the guys in the game, like you can't be a statue. Like they can make people miss in the pocket, but they are pocket passers technically.
Joey Burrow, though, was wide open, third downs.
Oh, yeah.
Mac Jones almost scored a touchdown on a run yesterday.
He should have. I mean, he's goddamn tackle football, I thought, so that should have been a touchdown.
Well, not a Pro Bowl. And by the way, I love that Correnti made it about himself one last time.
Had
to do it.
False start on a center.
Yeah.
Pick that thing up, put that down. That's on. Yep, I made that call. Timeout.
Okay, Tony.
Hey, thanks for your service, by the way.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony and 7 others are retiring, I believe. Refs?
No.
Yeah, so that's good. So 8 full-time officials are retiring. Can't wait to see the next batch that's in there. I'm sure they'll be great.
Oh,
Better be.
Let's let technology help these folks on the field.
Simple solution.
Everybody wants to boo them out of stadiums. They probably don't feel safe in situations when they have to make a call. Let's let technology help them and guide them as opposed to be, an inhibitor for them. And I feel like it's a mindset thing. I honestly believe it's a mindset thing.
It'd also be interesting to see how many of these guys get like front office officiating jobs with the NFL if they retired, because it seems like that's been like guys retire and then boom, what do you know? He's like Walt Anderson. He's still running everything basically. So it'll be interesting to see if some of these older guys end up retiring. It's just like, I'll just go work for the officiating branch of the league office.
So Amazon also going to need
bingo.
Yeah, they're going to need
a ref specialist, right? And officials. 8 NFL officials set to retire. The NFL announced that 8 officials, 7 on-field officials, and 1 replay. Thank God. Get the fucking replay person out of here. You guys have abused that in the ground. People think it's a bad thing to be able to utilize 8K to make the right call because of how inefficient and inept these replay people. Not saying this one has been, but it'd be nice to get a new generation, I think, in the replay. Thank you for the trailblazing in the replay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you for that. Excited to see who's next. Included in the group, a 27-year veteran official and longtime referee, Tony Correnti. He's the highlight of this entire thing. Ed Camp, by the way, I think we know his son rather well. Ed Camp, hell of an official.
Thank you, Ed.
Tony Correnti, obviously. Way to go, Tony. Thank you for your service.
Tony.
Scott Edwards.
Scotty.
Hey, Greg Gautreau.
Thank you, Greg.
Wee Gautreau there. Joe LaRue. Johnny McGrath. Mark Stanker.
Thank you, Stanker.
Thank you, Stanker. And Steve Zimmer. We appreciate your service.
Thank you, Zim.
Is that Zimmer's brother?
Yeah.
Can't be.
No, I do.
I assume it's not.
I was going to say.
I assume you can't have your brother.
Yeah, how did that?
Right.
They used to have like big full-on protocols on not even being able to ref anybody that's in the area in which you live.
Yeah.
But then remember that Rams-Saints situation. The guy who was looking directly at the pass interference has 2 houses in L.A. or something.
That's right.
It's messed up.
That was big. Sean Payton and Kevin James were not happy.
Yeah, not at all.
That might have led Kevin James to retiring a little bit earlier.
Stepping away.
Let's go to Chase in Green Bay. What's going on, Chase?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Keep going.
It's going good. It's going
All
good,
right.
Chase. It's going good.
We're kind of on the same topic of letting the technology for the refs kind of take over. Why haven't they put some sort of buzzer or something on the play clock? Take that completely out of the ref's hands. Put some. Basketball's got it. Hockey's got it just in general. Why don't they put some sort of buzzer on it just as soon as it hits 0? Bang.
Chase, I respect it. Let's never say baseball did something, so the NFL should.
Yes.
Probably doing whatever is a good idea, detriment as opposed to a positive, because baseball doesn't even have a league. So that is something we have to remember. Shout out to baseball, by the way. Just
Shout out.
quitting your own league.
Nice job. They knew.
Good luck, boys.
We talked about this last week, I think, because it led into an entire conversation about the Lions being on the receiving end of Justin Tucker's longest field goal of all time when there was clearly a delay of game, like a play or two before to get them into that position. None of us know why some things happen. It's almost like the play clock delay of game thing is like when an umpire stretches corners.
Yeah.
Like, this particular ump, I don't know who's the one check. I think it's the umpire. This particular ump takes a little bit to get to 0. to the center, and then he gets back to 0, so you have a little bit more play or wiggle room. This one, as soon as he sees 0, he calls it. It's one of those novelties of sport, and it almost gets described as such by the commentators. Remember, the way this goes is this, and then this, but it doesn't make much sense why it is the way it is.
No, and it seems like you could do something like you wear something on your wrist and it like buzzes while it's expiring or whatever, so that you don't actually have to look up at the clock and look down. You just get like something you'd feel, and you'd be able to be looking at the ball immediately, so it'd eliminate all of that.
Yeah, and then that ref, by the way, can look at other things pre-snap.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to focus just on a clock that's ticking. He's watching paint dry. He can focus on something else pre-snap. I mean, there's a lot of answers we have if they just let us come in there and do a pitch deck.
Yeah, it feels like.
Let's do a pitch deck.
Come
They got a
on.
lot to deal with, 4 different lawsuits happening at the same time, but I'm just thinking
So, yeah,
maybe
let
we
us
can.
help.
Yeah, let's take it on.
It's simple.
Let's handle the
You
officiating.
guys deal with that stuff. We'll help over here.
We'll be able to have Connor out there. Dude can be a stooge. As long as we got these replays and refs and the way these things work, it's not a problem at all. Last phone call of the day. We can't thank you enough for joining us, everybody. James in Kansas City, what's going on?
Hey, Pat and the boys, how we doing?
Keep moving.
Nailed it. I knew he was going to.
Hey, since the Winter Classic's going to be at Fenway Park next year between the Bees and the Pens, who's going to be the home team since the Pens are being owned by Fenway Group?
Holy shit.
All right, the show has to end. That guy stinks.
What a call.
I don't see a problem with that. Fucking Bees in Boston, not even the home team, scumbags. People don't even want them in their own city. I got no problem with that.
People forget that the Fenway Sports Group could have easily become the Igloo Sports Group if they wanted to buy the Pittsburgh Penguins. Instead, they kept the Boston-related name in their venture capitalist fund because the Fenway Boston Red Sox were the first team that they actually bought.
Hell yeah.
Now they are a conglomerate that invests in teams and makes their team better. They did not want to buy the Bruins because the Bruins fucking stink. They said, give us the Penguins, the best team in all of hockey. We would like to buy them. So I assume no matter where the Penguins play, they'll be the fucking home team, especially against the stupid Boston Bruins.
Got it. And plus, we're going to absolutely wipe the ice with you guys tomorrow night. I can't wait.
I'm not talking about tomorrow night. We're talking about the
Fucking Winter Classic 2022.
You don't even know what hockey is.
That's the
your
problem
issue.
with the Penguins right there. We're looking to tomorrow. We're not looking at
Listen,
next
somebody
year.
asked a goddamn question. We're back tomorrow from LA.
Nailed it. On the screws.
It's tomorrow afternoon, not night. Okay.
Oh, I'm staying on
Yeah,
Eastern
we're-
time.
No, we're at LA.
I'm
babies.
staying on Eastern time too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So we're all going to bed early.
Yep. Waking up.
8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
8
Lights
p.m.
out.
bedtimes. Everybody.
4 a.m. wake up.
We got 2 houses. Everybody fucking stick on the East Coast time zone. Don't need any fuckery happening, by the way, or mock
Machinations.
any machinations happening at the house.
Uh-uh.
Don't need any machinations at the houses.
Not for me.
Do we have air mattresses? Probably gonna need some of those.
Zito said he was going to get them, but I don't know if.
Zito's had to do everything.
Yeah, Zito's wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Has been. I feel like Zito's turned it up too, ranched it up. Like he's done more in the last 2 months than he's ever done. He does a lot. I'll get a text from him like, hey, you want me to blah, blah, blah? I'm like, yeah, that'd actually be great. Thank you. He's like, no problem. And he does. He just knocks it out. Now he's out in L.A. figuring out the mask mandates, the protocols, figuring out the set, when we can be there, how we can be there, the Airbnbs, the credential situation, and he has to find out if there's air mattresses anywhere out there.
Yeah.
Electric.
That's awesome.
5-tool player.
Hey, we miss you, Zeke.
Miss you, Zeke. Excited to see you.
Should just get them primed. Amazon. Deliver them right to the front door.
I assume there's going to be a lot of air mattress orders out there in L.A., right?
I don't know. I think a lot of media are probably just staying in the hotels, right?
Could you imagine staying in a hotel for the entire week? Oh, my God.
No, thanks. I'm bringing a pillow just in case.
Are you? I don't know if there's enough room on the plane.
Oh, I'll just put it on my lap.
Okay. All right. Traveling with a pillow is such a good move, but
Yeah,
then
it is.
hauling the pillow is always the problem.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can't put it in any bag, basically. So
No.
you have an exposed pillow to whatever condition you're in.
Bingo.
And you're carrying it around. Everybody, oh, soft. Look at this guy bringing
Yeah.
a pillow.
His asshole's got a pillow with him.
But you do sleep much better than those basic-ass, terrible hotel pillows. I don't even know how they say those are pillows. They're terrible, especially with this noggin I have right here. Jeez
Can't
Louise.
do it. Can't be sleeping on a cardboard pillow.
Won't do it. Airbnbs are the way to go.
Absolutely.
And you can just go outside if there's vitamins, maybe.
Yeah.
In California.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Airbnbs are the way to go. This one, definitely vitamins. But in other places where there are vitamins available, you try to get a hotel that has a balcony, it's almost like you're asking for them to fucking cure COVID.
Yeah,
Right.
When you're out there in Ontario.
You got to take advantage of the being out there and the indoor-outdoor living that you don't get really
In
anywhere
LA.
else.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to take advantage.
Dead of winter.
A lot of people have asked, like, hey, for our meeting, you want to come by our place? She wants to come to yours. I'm like, no. Come on over. We actually got it. It's really nice, by the way. We have a meeting house in a living house.
Nice.
The meeting house is, hey, we did it, man.
Sit down. Let's do some business.
All right, let's go to the rooftop, actually.
How's your
Let's go to the
family?
rooftop. There's a fire. How's your family, huh?
How you doing?
I don't know if it's going to work with us, but I think you guys got some good ideas.
That's right.
Can't wait for that.
How you doing?
All right, we got to get on the road. AJ Hawk probably getting here soon.
Let's go.
Can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see everybody. Thursday, 4 o'clock local in LA at the Convention Center. 7 p.m. Eastern stream on YouTube. Big surprise guest, big show.
Hell yeah.
Big giveaways. Saturday night, we are doing a massive stream for FanDuel.
Yes. Hired guns.
Hired guns. Please host. We will host, and we will host. Production, idea, concept, all FanDuel. Excited for it.
Hell yeah.
Kind of hands off on that time.
Yeah. That's right.
It's actually been pretty nice.
Yeah.
Now, in the middle of it, will there be a couple? This is easily avoidable.
I don't know.
Probably. But
Absolutely.
it will be a celebration of
That's
the
right.
year that was.
That's right.
And then Sunday, Super Bowl, streaming live during the game.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's have a big Super Bowl.
Here we go.
Huh? Let's have a big game week.
Yeah. Do it.
Let's put a big week together for the big game.
Hell yeah.
Hey, let's go out there and let's do it.
What do you say?
All right, let's go get some of their vitamins. Let's think of new ideas. Let's shake hands. Let's make deals. Let's shape the future. All the while putting on an incredible show daily.
Goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
From noon to 4 Eastern.
Hell yeah.
Hammer Dahn will be live from Radio Row after our show ends at about 3:30 daily.
Okay.
A lot of guests in person stopping by, people we haven't had on the show before coming through.
Nice.
Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. Let's get on the road. Hammer, you doing a show today?
Yeah.
15 minutes from now, Hammer Down will take place at youtube.com/Hammer Down. Big thanks to Herb Street, almost died on the side of the road.
Yeah.
talking to us.
My God. That was
Thank God.
scary.
Every time I went to full screen of him and he was given an answer, it was a really good answer, and then we'd see some 18-wheeler turn in the corner behind.
Yeah. Couldn't do it.
Nerve wracking.
It was just, I've seen too many videos on the internet of him disappearing from that screen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Can't have it.
What is the deal with his phone, though? It's always his phone.
Audio is weird.
There's sometimes some connections come through where we laugh, it cuts everything off, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it just powers right through it.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
No idea.
No rhyme or
Wish we
reason.
knew.
Probably had it through his CarPlay. Probably messes something
I
up.
don't know.
No clue.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
All right, see everybody tomorrow, live from LA.
Hey.
Go.
But when you see us tomorrow, we're going to be in a different state of mind.
Hey-oh!
All right, see you in about 21 hours. Cheers.